guys? I'm Mike.
And I'm Tim.
And this is the Board Game Rundown. And we are live from our basements because we cover games from the ground up. So let's round up some viewers and get this Whiskey Wednesday started.
That was your strongest start to date, Mike. That was smooth.
What are you drinking tonight, Tim? I know that you were gifted a new bottle at Gen Con. Are you drinking it?
Hold on. I decided to do something different tonight. I'm going to let everybody pick. I've got this bottle of Japanese whiskey that Dennis from Worn Wanderers brought me. I got Elijah Craig, small batch here.
I got him.
And then I got, this is how I treat myself versus how my friends treat me. I got some rat gut made right out of the National Distillery in Louisville, Kentucky. Some Old Crow. So whatever somebody wants, I will pour myself that. I know it. Jim. I know Jim's in here tonight, and I know Jim wants that Japanese whiskey. I know. See, I knew it. Man, we got Justin from Claw in here tonight. This is fantastic. This is awesome.
We got to say hi to everybody. Every time we go to a con, we get some new people watching. We love it. We got Nick's in here, as always. Hello from Cincinnati. We have Jasmine. Oh, we've got Paul, who is demoing his game all weekend long. We have Chris.
Chris is designer of Shadowgate. Yes.
Nice. Who else?
Sounds like a time for a new signature blend. Yeah, Jason, I could just that boy. We got one of our favorite people and good friends of the show. Donnie is here. Very excited about always having Donnie here. Donnie, we're going to get you on a Whiskey Wednesday sometime. I can't wait. I'm full 42. I'm guessing that's our buddy Mike. Yeah, we're going to talk about you tonight. Your ears are going to be burning.
Yeah. Hey, everybody's liking the new intro. There we go. I like it. That's right. And no buffering, David Godfrey is noticing. Maybe my Geek Squad services from a couple weeks ago are starting to pay off. We got Justin in here for the first time. I'm loving it. We got Donnie. Man, we got everybody in here. I am loving it. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We are pumped because we just got back from Gen Con, and it was a massive, massive, smashing success.
It really was. I am like over the moon with how successful and awesome it was, how rewarding it was. It's like getting I just get my battery completely charged up, right? You know, we grind at this show. We work really hard on the show. And, we're always trying to grow the show. And sometimes you hit little setbacks or this isn't hitting like I think it should. And then we go and do a show like Gen Con, and I meet all these people and I see all these awesome friends, new and old. And it's just like, I feel nice. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go at it. Yeah, Chris, they actually sold out of their Shadowgate at the Trick or Treat Studios booth. I am really happy for those guys, and they've got another game that I am dying for them to get signed because I want to frickin' play it. And my wife even is always asking me about it. It's a trick or treat game, and you're literally like trick or treating. I can't wait. We'll get there in the stories. We have a video of it. It looks like the Japanese whiskey won, so I'm going to give this a pour.
I gotta try this stuff myself. Sorry, Facebook user, but you have to go back and click that StreamYard link, or we won't know who you are. Or you could just comment and tell us who you are. We like to know, though.
Yeah, that could be one of my
comments.
That could be one of my uncles giving me guff, which is fine. I love him.
Could be. Hey, your uncle last time had his name visible, so he was able to get us going there.
I had two uncles that were on last time. Yeah. One of them was giving me guff, and the other one was playing nice and actually trying to ask TJ some good questions. So
we're getting a little bit of audio glitching from you, but it's not too bad so far. We'll take what we got. It's way better than usual. we all, of course, ran a booth, and then we had a ton of stuff to pack up Sunday. So we packed a lot of our stuff Saturday night, took it all to our cars because we had way too much stuff that we could take from our hotel Sunday to the booth. We had nowhere to put it all. We couldn't hide it. So my camera and my normal microphone are in my backpack, which is at Bob's house. So if I look and sound a little funny tonight, you can make fun of me if you wish, not using my normal equipment.
Well,
Tim,
you
on
always
the
look
other
funny.
hand, well, that's true. So we are doing our Gen Con recap tonight, guys. We met so many new people. We saw a lot of old friends, but we jam-packed our booth, and in a 4-day period, we shot 40 videos. Okay. 40. All right. So before we actually start showing those pictures and really getting into detail on everybody that was there and what we did with them, we kind of want to do a not so humble brag here. And we're going to go through the schedule because, I started posting it like a couple weeks ago to kind of build up the hype of what we were working on and everybody that was going to be there and some of the big names that were coming to our booth. But you don't know everything that we ended up doing. We added so much more since last week and even after we got to the show. So I think we just deserve a chance to humble brag every single person that was in our booth over that 4-day stretch. Right, Tim?
Let's do it, man. We put in a lot of work to make this happen. I think we deserve to, we get to pound our chest a little bit on this one, right? I'm going to smell myself on this one. I'm going to smell myself.
Yes, Jason, I am very much saying that Bob sabotaged the show. Excuse me, held on to my backpack and made sure that, I couldn't sound and look nearly as good as usual to Tim's dismay.
Also, Mike, just so you know, I was so excited when I got home. I made myself a batch of my homemade cookies. There's nothing extra in them, but I finally got it so it tastes almost exactly like a crumble cookie, like same texture. Dude, I'm not going to say that they're the best cookies I've ever made, but they might be the best cookies I've ever made.
Yes, Jim. Cheers to you, Jim, as well, sir.
Jim's also going to be a future guest on the show, man. He's got an awesome game coming out soon that Bob and I got to play.
I got one of my favorites out. It's Four Roses Single Barrel. I knew it was going to be a hot episode. I had to get my good stuff. There's Paul. Yes, the last time we saw you on a Wednesday, we were just a small, bustling channel, barely scratching 2,900 subs, and here we are with 3,200. So, yeah, we cracked 3,000 on day one of Gen Con. That was a bit of a thrill. So, all right, Tim, without further ado, how do you want to do this? Do you have the Basecamp schedule up in front of you?
No, because it's on my phone, and my phone is up in front of me.
I will just go through them. Some of them I did not get to do, so I don't remember exactly what game they're affiliated with, so feel free to help me fill in here, okay?
I'll chime in where I can.
Okay, so again, guys, this is just the quick rundown, so you know everything we did. This is our humble brag of everything we got done, and then we'll show you all the pictures, and you'll get to see all of that work in action, as well as, videos that are still coming. And thank you, David, for the congrats. Okay, number one, we had Michael Giuliano in the booth for a Teach of Stuff of Legend.
First in your hearts and first in your minds. We had, Mike was the first guy for the booth, broke us in strong. We went with somebody that we knew would be an absolute home run. We're well within each other's comfort zones. And it's just a game we are just freaking excited to talk about all the damn time. So please continue, Mike. We're not gonna go too deep on each one of these because some of these will come up in our recap with our stories.
They will. And then right after that, you got to interview the hilarious Seppi Yoon.
Oh my God, I could go on for an hour about how much fun I had with Seppi. He is hilarious. I love him. Very quickly becoming one of my favorite people that I cannot wait to see at future conventions. Seppi is the best and an absolute delight. A beautiful human being. Please continue, Mike.
Right after him, I got to shoot a demo of Claw, the brand new prototype being worked on by Mindcast Games, Braincast Games. Sorry, guys, which
You
is
get it
Justin in the
right.
chat and West Todd. It was the first time West even got a chance to set up his prototype.
Now,
So,
the best
super
thing about
exciting.
this is we had Ringer, once again, known Ringer, West Todd, on the show, which is always great to do. The man is a gentle giant. I love him. Anyways, please continue.
After that, we did a demo of Waddle Waddle by Darren Humphrey.
Yes, I wish I could have played this, but I had an interview going on, I think, like right at the same time. But his game, I think Bob played his game, and I think Bob really liked it. Based on science, he took pictures based on like actual scientific stuff and not just like a cute little penguin game. And I believe he took all the pictures, like he went on a trip to Antarctica, right? And took all the pictures and stuff.
Yeah, which is incredible. Yeah. So I need to look into this one because I'm a geography nerd. I love seeing pictures from different places of the world. Right after him, we got to dive a little bit deeper into games, and that's because Tim interviewed the one and only Andrew Styles from Tabletop Submarine.
Again, just a dude that I absolutely admire and adore. He's generous with his time. He's full of advice and just good ideas. Andrew Styles is awesome. I'll talk about him more later.
Right after that, we had Matthew Ryan in the booth who demoed Sirens, but he also brought his buddy Amon Anderson, who demoed Twilight, previously designer of Gnome Hollow. Hey, what's up, Dennis? He's drinking the whiskey you brought for him.
Good
to see you, man. Finally upgrade this guy.
Wait. Oh, go on.
Okay, that was just Thursday.
Oh, yeah, so that was Matthew. That's the man, the mullet, the fanny pack, Matthew Ryan. He's awesome.
Yep, Bob was in on both of those. We had Evan Halbert playing both of those games too, so that was a stacked table right there.
God, Evan, like we'll talk about Evan.
Yeah, we can talk about Evan. He's too nice though. All right, Friday, you got to interview David Zuckerman. Excuse me.
No. Cross that off. He didn't show up.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
I'm sure something came up. We had a busy con.
All right. Yeah, it happens.
That would have been 41 videos. It happens.
Yeah. All right. So then after him, we had a double feature. More Michael Giuliano for you. He demoed Charcuterie, and then Tim switched to the other side of our set and did an interview with him.
Yeah, again, I could have talked, like a lot of these guys, I could have talked to Mike Giuliano for days on camera, and it would have been fun.
What? You've never done that before.
I know, it's weird. But I was really excited with all the stuff he's doing. I'm very excited about Charcuterie. I think they got a legitimate hit on their hand. I think that's going to be a game that can bridge mass market to the hobby gamer. So I'll stop there, though, and we'll talk more later.
After that, we got a nice little treat when our friends from Trick or Treat Studios stopped by and demoed Trick or Treat, which has not been out yet.
Yeah, Eric Gaizat. So you've seen Chris in the chat. That's his brother. They also have a partner, Carl. I hope I got that right, Chris. Let me know if I got it wrong. And if I got it wrong, I'm really sorry, Carl. I'll just double down and keep calling Carl. Those guys are great. I will talk more about them later because I want to keep moving through this list.
Yep.
Yeah,
we're just trying a quick rundown, guys. Yep, that's all we're doing here, and then you'll get the treats later.
Yes, it is Carl. Carl's so cool. Love him.
Nice. Right. After that, there was a demo of Time Lancers with Kenny Height.
Mm-hmm. Bob played that one.
Then we had an interview with Charlie McCarron, who designed 4 Humors from Adam's Apple Games.
Mm-hmm. Dude is super neat, too. Sorry, go on.
Then I got to interview Colton Thompson from the upcoming mega hit Galactic Cruise, the guys at Kenson Key Games. Colton was super fun. Then this is where I was in the booth kind of running stuff. Then I had Paul Elpers, who's in the chat here. We did a quick little demo of his game, Gempire Zarman's Demands.
Who? Paul who? Paul who? I haven't heard of him.
Paul. Yeah, me either. Hold on. Let me find him in the chat. His name is Gemtime Games. My bad.
I love Paul. He's fantastic.
He's great. Then we had our old buddy, the Hikit designer, TJ Swing, in the booth, who demoed his up-and-coming game, Pigskin Football. Let me tell you, if you want to play a game that feels like football, that's the one.
I'm so upset I didn't get to play this with him.
That's the one, guys. It was a blast. It seriously was. Okay, so that was Friday. Paul hasn't heard of himself either. I get that a lot. All right, so then Saturday, we got to do a demo of Lunar Rush. And actually, I'm pretty sure Bob and I are going to do a review of that this weekend.
Yeah, Bob even went and bought a deluxe edition. I knew he'd like it. I didn't have the opportunity to sit down and play it, but it was like, okay, pick a guy that I know is because I demoed it before. Actually, Dan and I got a demo of it at Origins last year, and so I was like, Bobby, you're gonna love this game. And I love being right. It doesn't happen all the time, but good Lord, I love being right. Even Bob's got to admit I was right. Yeah. And even Bob has to admit it. Bob had to admit I was right that time. So
after that, Tim got to talk to we don't have his name down, but this was the sleeper hit for us, the Pocket Paragons.
Oh yeah, it is Brian McKay. Brian McKay, super personable dude from Solus Games Studios. They've got another game we'll talk about in a minute called Space Lion, which I really wanted to play, but I gave Andrew the demo because I have to share sometimes. But all those guys over at Solus Game Studios are freaking awesome, and love talking to them. Please continue.
Yep. So then while that was happening, while that interview was going on, I was playing a ridiculous, not safe for work party game currently on Kickstarter called Change My Mind. If you want to see me say some absolutely ridiculous things, go watch that demo. It's already up.
Yeah, Josh Salem, and his Kickstarter is over 50% funded in the first day and a half. It's got a low goal. It's a great party game, and the dude knows how to market himself. I'll tell you that. It's clearly he's a professional and has some industry skills. But amazing. He does have a really, really, really fun game on his hands. So strong recommend for that.
Bob, you're not feeling well, right? Don't you need roughly a 2.5 hour break to get yourself feeling better so you can be more productive at work? Anyway, maybe not. All right, moving on. Then, right after Josh, Bob got to interview a designer maybe you guys have heard of called David Turksey. It says here he designed Anatroni. He's designer of Anachrony. Voidfall soon to be out.
Bob's got my autographed rulebook. I need to get that back from him.
We were also the very first people to even be able to discuss Nucleum, his upcoming game, with Simone Luciani co-design, going straight to retail from Board and Dice at Essen next year. Bob got to talk to David Turksey, guys. And let me tell you, his energy was awesome. We'll come back to David. He was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
While that was happening, someone else was demoing Name the Thing.
Me.
Yes.
Low Tech Games. I forget John's last name, but John and his wife and one of their friends played this game with me. Super fun, irreverent party game. I really enjoyed it. And was super, super good. Very entertaining. Not as filthy as your game, Changed My Mind, but it was pretty fun. Some good conversations to be had.
Yes, and at the exact time that Bob was doing that demo, Nucleum and Voidfall were both number 1 and 2 on the hotness. So talk about timing, guys. Amazing. Yeah. So, yes, Bob is also working on listing his Lorcana halls. So, not true.
Not true, but still funny.
While Name the Thing was being demoed, I got to talk to this designer. Maybe you guys have heard of him. called Stan Kordonsky.
He's done a thing or two.
Endless Winter and Resurgence. I got to talk to him about winning a Dice Tower award for Endless Winter, which is pretty awesome. More pictures on that. Then Charlie McCarron did a demo of his other game, Alphabet Stoop.
Yes. Again, super good guy. I was really excited that he kept coming by the booth and doing more stuff with us. I love it.
He did. He was cool. After that was a demo of Roundtable with Bill DeVoe, and I keep fighting the urge to call him Bell Biv DeVoe.
I also wanted to call him that, but he does not look anything like Bell Biv DeVoe.
He does not. Really Bobby, nice guy, though.
You played that game. I believe that's a TCG that's coming, right? Or an LCG. And it's on Kickstarter now. It looks really cool. I booked it with the intention of doing that video with him, but then I think I got pulled away for a different interview that was happening, maybe concurrently.
At the same time, someone else was doing an interview with Reality Shift designer Matt Hansen.
Oh, yeah, that was me. That's what I was doing. I had a very, very awesome opportunity to get Matt in there and talk to him. That's a fun story I'll tell later. I'm gonna be living off that story for years to come, guys. I'm just telling you. Anyways, please go on, Mike.
Shortly after that, got to interview the Boop designer Scott Brady.
Yes, Boop. Yeah, I was really glad that we were able to get him in the booth. I will go more into it. This was totally because of Sam Stockton. I will tell you that right now. From B8 Games. Sam is just perpetually the best friend of the show we could ever have.
Well, he was like the first person that ever took notice of the rundown. So Sam will always have a special place in our heart.
Absolutely. Please continue. I will go.
Sam knew about the rundown before I did. Okay. Then I got to demo Fairy Tale Campaign Trail from our friends at Parakeet Griffin. That was with Christina and Aaron. You've seen them on the show. You've seen us play the game on the stream. They're great people. We got to hang out with them a lot, and I love getting goofy playing their game.
I was so sad that I was disappointed that I had an equally cool interview to do at the same time as that game was going on, because that there's nothing I would rather be doing at Gen Con than playing a game like that with some people that I just think are great. So anyways, please
absolutely.
Continue.
But you couldn't because you were interviewing Kurt Covert from Smirk and Dagger.
Yeah, what an awesome opportunity. Got to meet him. Like we talked for literally not even 5 minutes before we did the interview, and talking to that guy and get going. By the end of it, I felt like I'd known him for years. Like, he is so open and has so many great stories, and it's really fun to hear about like the evolution of games and the evolution of his company and things like that. Kurt was very generous with his time, and he gave us a bunch of games to review, which is also great. But even if he hadn't, I was still excited that he would come over to the booth and talk to us. Because I've been a fan of Smirk and Dagger for years. I mean, they've been around for ages. All right, that's it. I'll go on. I'll talk more about it later.
Or from Saturday, we had our buddies Donnie and Corey, the designers of Mission Control, in the booth. Me and Dan got to play their game with them on camera. One of my favorite experiences. Those guys are awesome.
Well, Donnie, I mean, he's in here all the time. Donnie's the best. Right? I love him. I won't vouch for Corey near as strong. No, Corey's great too. Anybody that I've ever met that has had anything to do with Third World Studios, they're all fantastic.
They're all great.
I'm really, really still sore about this though, because I brought 2 copies of Mission Control to the booth, one for our giveaway to get signed and mine to get signed. I go to the bathroom, I come back, Donnie and Corey gone, vanished from the planet. They've left. They've taken back off, and 1 copy is signed. 1 copy is signed, not both.
To be fair, I took a 1-hour break that day, and I came back just in time for that demo, and so I didn't know why that other copy was sitting there. So now Dan was there the entire time and should have heard that exchange.
Hold on. You were on the giveaway video where I said, I am bringing my copy to get signed. I will get your copy signed as well. And I even said, where did I say I was going to have him sign it? Where did I say that I was going to have him sign it?
At Gen Con, I didn't know whose copy it was.
Why do you think there's two sitting there?
I didn't know.
Listen, I know that I can.
I'll hit break during the day.
I'll hit them up. Listen, dude, Mike, you and I last Saturday, I think you and I were like never away from that booth for more than like 20 minutes. I really don't, because
I walked around for a bit with Julie and Patrick, to be fair.
Oh, okay. My shift technically started at 2, and I was filming in the booth. Well, I set up the booth at 8, and then was filming in that booth from 10 to God knows when.
Anyways, I finished Fairy Tale at like 3:30 and got back just in time for Donnie and Corey to be there at 4:30. That was my break that day.
To be fair,
after the thing was closed, I don't know how to pronounce Chris Luizzo's last name, but he showed us Heroes of Targus with Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
That's Saturday.
I wanted to be in on this, but I ran from the booth over to the Third World Studios booth in hopes of seeing Corey and Donnie to get my game signed. But they were gone.
We had 15 filmings on Saturday if you're scoring at home. Okay. Now we get to Sunday, a little bit less busy, shorter day. We had a demo of Four Horsemen with Jeremy Rowley.
Rowley. Oh, yeah, Rowley. Excellent game. Beautiful production design. I'm very excited for this one.
Immediately after that, you got to interview our old buddy Sam Stockton from VA Games.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
During that, we got plenty we could say about Sam, and we probably will. During that, there was a Sunlion demo.
I really wanted to be on that Solus Game Studios. It's sort of a lane battler, similar to like Snap.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Marvel Snap. I'm very excited. I pushed very hard to get Sunlion in on the show because I really wanted to make that happen. And then it turns out all the dudes from that booth are super cool. Sorry, please continue.
Right after that, I did an interview with Sean Jacquemin from Kids Table Board Games and Burnt Island Games. He was great. I loved his energy. Yep.
Huge.
Super cool.
That's
going to be a nice little connection moving forward.
Yeah, he gave you a copy of Diced Veggies, right, for review?
No, I didn't get anything get anything during Gen Con.
Somebody bought it. Somebody bought Diced Veggies. Somebody went home with Diced Veggies.
I bought it for Jason Smith because I'm a good friend. Hey, Alan, thanks for joining us, man.
What's up, Alan? Okay, so that's why we had a copy of that. You are a good friend.
He said he would have given us one, but there's some production issues with the pips on the dice. So
it doesn't matter. We're around. If he decides to give us one, great. And if he doesn't, that's fine too. We'd probably end up buying it and reviewing it anyway. So
yes. I'll just open Jason's copy. We'll review that one.
There we go. You're welcome, Jay.
Here you go. Here's a previously reviewed copy.
We'll all take pictures of us playing it and send it, like put them in, print them out and put them in the game, and then we'll send it off to him.
Okay. After that, we had a guy you may have heard of called Grant Lyon.
Oh yeah, he's pretty funny guy. Pretty funny guy. Really fun interview. Awesome to get to talk to him. I never met him before. Slid into his DMs, asked him to pop on the show, and dude did not disappoint. We barely talk board games. We spent so much time just talking about comedy. I just wanted to hear his stories. I'm a comedy nerd. I love stand up. He's also done some film stuff too. So like, it was really cool to like just talk to somebody in another passion of mine. He's great. He's very charismatic. You can see why he is as successful as he is, because the dude's just got charm. He's on, and he was really fun to be around.
Okay, and then our last, but certainly not least appearance in the booth, he's in the chat, and that was James Cole demoing Zombie Survival Infection.
Yes.
You and Bob got to do that one.
Yeah, and it was really good. Oh, hold on a second.
Holding. I saw a thumb from Facebook come through. While Tim's gone, if I could ask you guys to smash that like button, we really appreciate it. Anything to feed that algorithm helps.
So
I love that art.
I'm just gonna tell you this, dude. It freaked Bob and I out that this guy actually did all of his own illustrations for the game. Jim just freaking nailed it. The game is beautiful, and it's really mean. And I'm fine with it. I like mean games. Jim, it was. I can't wait to have you on a Whiskey Wednesday with us. Turns out that gentleman is into some fine Japanese whiskeys, so he's gonna school us on that when he comes in.
He's also into heavy metal, so
you could tell we were like we were some kindred spirits sitting there and having a good time. And he played nice with Bob and I for a few minutes, and then he saw that Bob and I will not play nice, and we're just going to go right at it. And it was a very good competitive game, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. We're going to have a video on it, a preview, Kickstarter preview video of it. I had asked to do this game just based on the art because I am kind of over zombie games sometimes, but when I see something unique or that's got like such a strong style to it, I was immediately drawn in. And then the gameplay, it's easy to teach, it's quick to play, so really solid. But we'll get into that when we do the official preview video on it. But yeah, so just what an awesome opportunity. Yeah,
that was every appearance we had in our booth, guys. You can see we were very busy. We were very productive. We don't even have all of our videos released yet. There are many, many more to come. So yeah, it was fantastic. It was a smashing success.
It exceeded all expectations. It really did. It really did.
Like every day over the last several weeks, as Tim and I are just kind of filling in, as we're filling in that schedule, we're going, wow, look at this roster, dude. This is insane. And then just every few days, we'd add a little bit more and a little bit more. And then we added even more the days before. And then we added more the days of, and it could not have gone better.
Well, we probably added 6 interviews while at the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you know,
at least.
Hey, we got Di in here. What's up? Good to see you. No, it's one of those things where, like, you know, we've got all these people in the hobby and you're like, yeah, these people are my friends and I love them and I can't wait to see them. And then it turns out, like, when we see them and it's like, no, like, holy shit, I really love these people. I'm so glad that I'm getting to see them and hang out with them. I got a little gooey and gushed on your post about Giuliano, you know, earlier in the week. And I meant every word of it. I mean, that is a dude that you just, you know, it's like him and Sam Stockton. Those are guys you just move mountains for. You just say, hey, where do you want it? I got you. Doesn't matter. They're just some of the best dudes. And I am so thankful that we get to be in this hobby and be in their circles. It is just even better. Oh, Jim, you're hitting at one of my favorite Return of the Living Dead. Oh my gosh. Filmed in Louisville, Kentucky in Cave Hill Cemetery, where one of my grandmothers is buried, and also Colonel Sanders. Fun fact for you. And that joke is referencing when the zombie gets on the cop car radio and says, send more cops. It's pretty fun.
It's truly, yeah, we're just surrounded by great people in this industry. I mean, we interacted with thousands of people, you know, gamers and designers and publishers and artists, and all of them were amazing. Now, there were very, very few exceptions to that, but we did meet some exceptions to that. We don't need to go into it, though. That being said, are we ready for picture time, Tim?
Yeah, before we go into picture time, I will just say, be kind to exhibitors. They're just people too.
Right. They're just people too.
Sometimes they're just volunteers. They're not even actually like employed by the company. They just wanted a badge into the show. So be kind to them.
Is it? It's funny. We talk about lifestyle games sometimes, but it is a lifestyle, like collecting
Yeah.
games and learning new games and meeting people that make games and draw games and develop games. It's a
This
blast. It's
this
so
is
fun.
that is a lifestyle choice I can get behind for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, Mike, let's get into pictures. Let's try to get through the pictures quick too, and then we can get into the stories.
All right. I mean, stories are going to come out of the pictures, so that's why I'm rolling with it
Yeah,
here.
that's fair.
So
That's fair.
we're starting with Bob's photos. I don't know what order these are in. They're a little bit out of order, so we'll just take them as we get to them. So here we go. So
He's setting up time lancers there.
yep. So we got Time
Okay.
Lancers set up, demoed in the booth. So Dan and Bob really enjoyed the Call of Duty game, and they talked them, the wonderful people at Arcane Wonders, into letting them hold their props. So
It is a family. It is a family.
No, Bob. These are just kind of everybody's pictures smashed together. So everybody walking around taking their own pictures. I had them all send them to me so we could use them for this recap. But yeah, those guns are awesome. And
a rare
spoiler,
photo of Dan. Rare photo of Dan having fun.
the spoiler, the Call of Duty game sounds pretty good. And yeah, Bob keeps saying it was way better than he thought it would be. A lot of those video games, especially huge ones like this IP here, can be cash grabs. Doesn't sound like this one's a cash grab. It's a good game. So that's awesome to hear. What else we got? Okay, so our buddy from the Board Game Mechanics, Jason Smith, is not a huge sports fan, but suddenly the Reds got good, and he's been posting about them all the time. We just happened to be sitting in the yard house and noticed the Cubs were crushing them, so I had to send him this picture.
Hey, Chris, thanks for popping on, man. We'll be telling stories about you later. So if you pop on later or to watch at a later time, I will be telling some stories about you guys. But thank you so much for popping in. I really appreciate you continuing to be a friend of the show. I mean, you were back a friend before we even had the show because we met at a Protospiel, right? As I was just getting the show started. So thank you, Chris. Have a great night. Enjoy your demo.
Bob took a picture of these hats for no particular reason whatsoever. Oh, there's another Cincinnati fan. We already talked about him a little bit, but there will be more. And yeah, Justin, busted. This is just Tim's closet. Bob actually drove home to take this picture.
I want that green hat real bad. I wish I had gone over there and bought one. It'd match all of my other Notre Dame wardrobe.
This one's great.
This was after playing Telestrations until this was about 2:30 in the morning. These are the Parakeet Griffin people. And I'm just nuts about these guys. They're so fun. They're so open with their time. I think they've got a really fun game on their hands. Mike and I are just really, really pushing them very hard to get this game made, and they are just so much fun. I really, really, really like them. And yeah, you guys are gonna have to come back on and do a Whiskey Wednesday with us, a game night, just straight up game night again, because you guys are such good sports. I'm gonna tell this story really quick. I kept running into them randomly when I would leave the booth, and I would sneak up behind them and just be like, you cannot escape me, and scare the crap out of them all the time. After a while, I got worried that they might actually get a little creeped out by me. But then it was sort of like how a joke is funny and then it's not funny, and then it goes long enough, it becomes funny again. So I think I made it all the way back to where it was funny again and not weird and creepy. But
speaking of weird and creepy,
yeah, I threw myself on the ground right as the picture was about this. I started standing up next to them, and then there was a little timer, and I threw myself down on the ground right there for that sexy pose for everybody.
So some might be wondering, where the hell is Mike? Well, 13 of us walked into that part of the exhibit hall. One of them, Andrew, said, "Oh, I don't want to play Telestrations," and then proceeded to grab a board. And I'm like, 12 boards, 13 people. The ratio of board to people is not in my favor. I was tired. I didn't fight it. I'm just I'm calling it a night. Thank God, because that was Friday night. and you heard how busy our Saturday was, and I took like a 45-minute break. So,
yeah, and I did that Saturday on like 4 hours of sleep. Boy.
I was trying to be reasonable. Thank you, Aaron. So this was the first night before the actual con. So this would have been Wednesday night at the Yard House before I jumped on that booth and started boasting about how the Cubs were destroying the Reds.
We were celebrating Spencer's birthday. I believe he's 57 now. So that was
That's
really
correct,
cool.
which you can tell by all the gray hair in his beard.
Yes.
Path of Civilization. I didn't get to check that one out. So I don't know a whole lot about that one. Hey, there we go. There's Jim's game.
Yeah, really good. Really fun. Great art design. I love it. The cards all look great too.
Art's great.
This is a magical moment. This is a magical moment Spencer and I had. We split a half yard of beer, and yeah, this is just shows the love that I have for my friends and my booth mates. You guys are all the best. I talk about how awesome, right? Everybody else we met were, but we could not have pulled off the show that we did without the team that we had. You know what I'm saying, Mike? Between I think Mike and I'm just gonna be rude and say that Mike and I booked 90% of the guests, if not 99% of the guests. And but everybody pitched in on doing the interviews and the demos. Everybody was in on them. Everybody was more than willing to help out and spread the wealth, a little bit. And everybody, when not at the booth, was running around just kicking ass, making connections. So it would have freaking been impossible without every single one of you guys.
It was a group effort.
So it really was. It really was. And I thanked everybody personally and individually, but I'll say it publicly too.
Was it concerned torture?
It was contemplative torture or something like that.
There you go.
I believe that London drew that one, or no, wait, or Christina. No, Christina drew that one. She did really great, like smiley, like very expressive stickmen, like way better than all of mine. If we're lucky, there's not a picture of the tiger that I drew on here later.
That looks really like contemplative. Like, should I start with the arms or the legs? Huh.
Oh, and I did. Mike, you also got to meet the world famous Shannon Pepitone. Happy anniversary, by the way. Happy anniversary. I was talking to Donnie in the booth, and she turned around and goes, "Oh, hi, Tim. What a sweetheart. I love it." And then we got a couple pictures together, which you'll see. But
hey,
please continue.
I said hi to her before she recognized me, so there you go. Just saying. This is more Path of Civilization, I assume. That's what I mean. His pictures are sort of weirdly out of order. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, Bob.
And of course, Forges of Ravenshire from our buddies BA Games.
Yeah, it is definitely one of the games I am most excited to get my hands on a production copy of. That is still out there right now, waiting.
More Path of Civilization. Bob must have been impressed with it. But look at this card layout. That's pretty cool.
Bob is all about a Civ game. Come on.
This was also night one. This is my first flight. No, it was my only flight. I had 2 more beers after that. Those are only 6-ounce beers, by the way. It's flight. These are not 4 12-ounce beers, okay? Pictures are deceiving.
Lightweight.
Hey now. I don't want to hear it. We can show another picture of what I did after I drank those.
Yeah,
More Forces of Ravenshire. So they actually had. Oh yeah, duh. Those were Bob's pictures. So it was a picture of his flight. They had a bird land on their demo table in the middle of Gen Con.
Yeah, you have to kind of zoom in to see it, but that is a bird right there. There he is. Nature approved. That is a bird. I think that was Wingspan being like, "Come at me, bro." Wingspan giving the BA Games guys the bird.
No, I think that's the Sparrow wanting his own faction since the Ravens have one.
Oh, I like yours better. I like yours better.
All right. What else we got? More Path of Civilization. Goodness.
Good Lord, Bob. Go to another booth.
More forges. Hey, this cosplayer was awesome. This was awesome.
This is the way.
Really good cosplay. And Bob playing the Call of Duty game, which he said was really, really good.
Yeah, thank you to Bree Goldman for hooking us up with making sure we were able to get in there and demo that. That was very cool from Arcane Wonders.
So that was all of Bob's pictures. Now we're on to Tim's pictures. We've got TJ and George. They are the co-designers of Pigskin Football that we got to demo in the booth. Super fun. And I got to play Far Shore for the first time.
What'd you think of it?
Pretty good. I liked it. I think the anchors are weird. Hey, here's 3 free cards you can get. Why? That's sort of strange.
Yeah, but have you played regular Everdell?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because it just slims that mechanic down a little bit. Makes it a little more limited. I'm fine with it.
I guess.
That's my opinion.
I got crushed. I completely forgot about the in-game points, so I got crushed.
Arcane Wonders does also have some of the best game teachers, I will say, because of Karen and Chris that are personal friends of mine that demo for them.
Yeah. Sorry, we don't know who the Facebook user is currently. We can see Justin. We can't see the other one. You either have to type your name or you have to go back and click that link so we know who you are.
Justin, let me just say thank you, man, for being on here and commenting. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, seriously.
You're going to be big and famous very soon once more people start learning about Claw. And so...
hey, it's Karen. Thank you for watching. We have pictures of you coming up.
Oh, it's Karen. She says she doesn't watch. Don't tell her. She's going to unsub immediately. She doesn't watch YouTube shows.
There's Jim Pirate Paul.
Yeah, I kind of ambushed him with a picture. He was talking, and I was like, I'm just going to snap a pic. Let's get candid.
I have more pictures of him. You'll see. You see. You'd rather just drink beer with us. That's funny, Justin, because after I had my flight, I did this.
on Andrew's bed because Andrew wasn't there the first night.
Yeah, Andrew wasn't there yet. In fact, what you missed, there's a video where I stand on that chair behind the bed. Tim lays down and I elbow drop Tim.
We should post that in the Discord. We should share that in the Discord.
Well, the video's not that great, but we might.
I covered myself in pillows because I really thought Mike was going to destroy me.
No, I was going for wrestling. I was going to barely touch you. I even went for the pin, pulled the leg up, and you can't really see it, but that's all right.
And now I'm
anyway. Well, that's true. Lunar Rush from Dead Alive.
Yeah, very good. Very cool. We had to do a little finagling to get them in the booth, but I appreciated how flexible they were with their schedule to make it happen, because it's a game that I think is really good and deserves attention and eyeballs. And so it was I really wanted to make an effort to get some content on it.
What I've heard about this game sounds fantastic. I love the aesthetic. I can't wait to play this one.
I think you'll love it, Mike. I really do.
I don't know who this one is.
Oh, hold on.
Well, he's an exhibitor, so you can't sell him any games. Kidding. That's an inside joke. You'll keep hearing it. Hey, nice.
So that is Brazilian designer Luiz. I'm going to say Bro, Breuh. Anyways, I was talking to him. I was buying his game, and he talked about how he was from Brazil but now lives in Canada. And I was like, oh, that's funny because I know a Canadian that moved to Brazil. And he's like, oh, what's his name? And I'm like, Ron Holiday. And he's like, oh, I'm friends with Ron. Like they stay together, like when they visit and stuff. So they were like super good friends. So I made a point to get a picture and I sent it to Ron right away.
Nice.
Because I'm like, what a small world. And yes, I absolutely bought this game because it was like the only other booth I think I bought games from. I bought from 25th Century Games and I bought from these guys.
Nice.
So, and the meeples are great looking. Anyways, please continue.
Hey, there's me and TJ playing Pigskin. What's up, Evan? You're just in time. I think the pictures of you are coming up real soon.
Yeah, God, I love Evan.
We already talked about how your interview was boring. Just kidding.
Oh
Just kidding.
dang! Oh dang! Well,
Well,
Bob
only
did that one,
because
right?
kidding. Right. Yeah. Totally boring.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bob did
Kidding.
it.
We love you all. But yeah, this game was a blast. I love football. Me, Tim, TJ, this is a mutual love we all have. We're actually all chatting about college football earlier today, talking crap, and that's why we love
Oh,
this guy.
there was some mad trash talking going on. I can't
There
wait.
was.
I can't wait for football season. I love it. Yeah. TJ is just the dude. Just the
Same
dude, man. I
photo.
love him.
Hey, let's
Same
get to it while
photo.
she's in here.
Hey, Karen, don't accidentally click. Don't accidentally click away. We were playing Gizmos, and she now forever hates Spencer because Spencer crushed us, like he does do in engine building games. And then that's our editor on the left there, Matt Rob. Sorry, Matt. Playing games with us at my sister's house, and it's might be the first non-party game that I've ever played with Karen. But she is one of my favorite Canadians, and I know a few now, so I can say that. But yeah, great time. She is a professional game demo. She is a ringer over at the Arcane Wonders booth.
That guy.
Karen, what you don't know is behind me. So from behind the camera, she had just taught a game. She just taught World Wonders, and then in the other room, she was teaching everybody Furnace. And then sitting at that table, I knew how to play Gizmos, but she kind of refreshed on Gizmos. Listen, Karen, don't get mad. I also love Katya. It's kind of both of you, I see you more, so I guess you're my favorite. Does that make sense? And you do give Dynamite hugs, so. Now switch
Tim,
away.
we can't all be your favorites.
Listen, Jazz isn't even Canadian. She's my favorite Jasmine.
This is cool.
Okay, so I got to tell this story. This freaked me out.
Yes, you do.
I was getting some games out from under the table that we had just gotten, and we were a woman that was at the booth that was filling out a raffle ticket was like oh, you got the spill, and I'm like, oh yeah, we just got it today. I'm very excited to talk about it, and I just hear, oh, I designed that. And I turn around and it's the designer of the spill. And we talked for a few minutes. I ripped the shrink off as fast as I could and got him to sign the game. He's going to come on for an interview at some point in time. I'm very excited about that. Just like a weird random encounter, just a super, super nice dude. And I'm really just happy for the chance encounter. So I really can't wait to hang out more and do more with him. Justin, are you Canadian? I didn't think he was Canadian. Is Justin Canadian?
No, he's from Pittsburgh, which means he's a Steelers fan.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I'm fine with that. It's just that, like the import, when you get an import versus a domestic, it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? Sometimes you put it a little bit higher because it's an import. But I was very excited to get to meet and hang out with Justin and run into him a bunch. Oh yeah, you got the spill. Sounds awful. Yeah, that's true.
The guys from Kids and Key Games.
Yeah, I was trying to get Mike. I was yelling Mike's name, and he was just not even hearing me. I'm like, Mike, we're gonna get a picture with Kinson Key, and you were just like, do 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 do, and not even paying attention. So I just said, all right. You weren't doing anything.
Balls deep in Everdell, I think.
No, it was over. Everdell was over. That's why I was trying to get you over.
Oh, I had my picture with these guys way before you guys did. You were just jelly, so we'll
now,
get to that.
Let me just show you though, right? The Dan's kind of off to the side, and I'm right there, smack dab in the middle. Just saying, Dan.
Hey,
yay! This might be one of my favorite pictures of the con because Shannon turned around and was like, "Hi, Tim," and then we took a picture because I was talking to Donnie, and we took a picture. We're like, "Oh, let's make goofy faces."
That's awesome.
That's
those guys.
Cool.
The guys from Kids and Key are super friendly. They're awesome.
TK, Dennis, and Colton. I love them.
We've talked about it before where we weren't sure what to do with our Origins booth, and we didn't even really know those guys and had the time, we let them demo their game in our booth for hours. That was pretty cool.
It was cool that they
There you
went to hang
go.
out with us.
Yeah, so just kind of one of the shots of our booth. This was the raffle area. This area was super popular because we're just giving away game after game, giving away raffle tickets, people coming up, spinning the wheel. Good times.
We gave away over 100 games, probably close to 120 games, I think, when it was all
Was it
said and
that
done.
many?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was
There you
madness.
go. There's our friends at Parakeet Griffin.
Yeah, I took a picture of them while they were demoing their game.
This game's hilarious, guys.
I
You
love
got
this
the
game.
right group for a goofy party game. You like a little role playing goofiness. It's so fun.
I love this game. Those guys are all awesome.
Duplicate.
Oh, there's me making a dumb face with Dan at Spencer's birthday party. Oh yeah, Strange Winds. This is Matt Hansen. We were he was demoing his game next to the Parakeet Griffin games. Do you want me to tell that story now, or do you want me to wait?
I'd get your stories in now. We have tons of pictures. So
all right. So I was sitting. I took that Parakeet Griffin picture. I sat down at their table. Because they asked me to. I didn't just sit down. I'm not that absurd. They were like, "Oh, hey, we got
into their table.
We got an extra spot. We got an extra spot. Do you want to sit in for a round or two?" And I'm like, "Absolutely." So I sit in for a round, a couple rounds of Fairy Tale Campaign Trail, and this guy comes up and he goes, "Oh, hey, Tim," and I'm like, "Hi." I have no idea who he was. And he goes, I really liked your review of Reality Shift. And I'm like, yeah, it's a great game. Thank you. We had fun playing it. And he's like, I'm the designer, Matt Hansen. I was like, what? And I was still kind of doing the Fairy Tale thing. I just was like, hey, can you give me like 5 minutes? I'd love to talk to you. And he goes, oh yeah, I'm demoing my game like right there. So they're literally one table over. And I asked him, I said, how did you know it was me? And he goes, I saw the hat. So I was wearing that Snapbill hat that I always wear in a bunch of the videos. And I'm like, I can't wait to tell the guys that it works. The hat worked. And then, yeah, when I was talking to him later, I think he said it was either that or a Notre Dame hat. I knew it'd be you. But yeah, it was such a crazy chance encounter. I sat in, I didn't play Strange Winds, but I watched it get played like twice because I was watching it and then left. And then Bob and I came back to try to run into him later, and he wasn't there. And we talked, or no, he was there. He was in the middle of the demo. We left, and then when we came back, he was gone. And I was trying to get him to come on the show, and then he swung by the booth the next day. And I was like, dude, we've got an opening in an hour. If you want to come back, I'd love to get you on camera and talk to you. And we talked a bunch, and I would like to say we became fast friends. Really excited about that guy. He's got some good games in the hopper that he's trying to get out there, and I'm really looking forward to it. And thank you very much. I try.
Don't tell him.
I try. You just got to be the listen. There's never a dull moment in that game if Mike or I are sitting at the table. It doesn't matter how quiet the group is. We're going to bring everybody in. We're going to raise that energy level up, and we're going to get a little crazy with it. Yeah, Andrew. Strange Winds is a really interesting. It's there's a little portal or a little like kraken mouth in the middle of that board, and so every turn the ships are getting pulled in, and so you can move in very easily, but it's hard to move out. And then in between rounds, there's tentacles that are spawning on the board, so they're going to damage your ships. You can shoot the tentacles and gain points. You can shoot the other ships to try to sink them to slow them down, and then they've got to rebuild their ships and deploy them. Really neat game. It's got a lot of fun mechanics. That was a rough prototype that he was demoing with, but it was super cool. And I might have given him an idea on how to add a mechanic to the game. I won't say much more than that, but I was very excited because we were talking about it, and I was like, I didn't want to say anything while you were demoing. I didn't want to interrupt, right? You when you're teaching the game and players are interacting, and I was not part of the demo from the beginning. So I was really not wanting to interject with that, but I did have the opportunity to provide some suggestions later. And he actually went and bought a game we referenced. I was very proud of myself. I'm like, I feel like I should get a developer credit if he uses the mechanics I talked about. Just kidding. It was just really cool to even, have an opinion that seemed to make sense. Anyways, please continue, Mike. I apologize. That's my long story on that one.
No, that's what the pictures are for, to elicit stories. Who's this guy?
Oh, I forgot his name, but I think he's pretty cool. But gosh, I think the name is like the game is like Charcuterie or something. But yeah, no, this is Mike Giuliano, of course, friend of the show, and full 42 celebrity extraordinaire, QSCon organizer. His accolades go on and on. Charcuterie is a really, really cool I pick, you choose. It looks better than New York Slice, which is the last game that I remember that did it kind of well or was popular. I do like Sword Crafters, which is a game that also has that I pick, you choose mechanic. But the way that you have to build your board and the rules around that are super fun. This game is very, very accessible. This would be a game, Mike, like you take and play with your parents, right? You know what I mean? This is a game. Yeah. This is a game that we all sit and play for a half an hour and have a really good time with like our hardcore game group, because the strategy is there and it's really tough and it's really fun. And your charcuterie board gets crowded real quick. I'm just throwing crap down on my board, just trying to make anything, make sense. But Mike was a gem, came over, taught it, played it on camera, and it's a really neat game, man. It's gonna be a big deal. It's gonna be a nice little hit for them.
Yeah, I really want to try this one. Love those kind of entry level games with deep strategy. Here we go. My first demo.
Oh, the man, the myth, the legend.
In action. Claw in action.
Friend of the show, West. I can't tell you guys how awesome it is to be friends with West. It really is. It's really great. And to have the opportunity to get to play Claw. Thank you, Justin, for helping make that happen. We all got really cool Claw shirts too. Very excited. We were wearing them at various points in time. It was a very nice surprise. You guys totally did not have to do that. We are legit excited about your game regardless. And are 100% supporting, our friend, and also a game that I haven't got to play yet, but everything I freaking hear about this game is great. I cannot wait. Yeah, I was jealous because their shirt quality, the shirts that they gave us were a better quality than the shirts we were wearing in the booth.
It was a welcomed change that night.
It was. And yeah, Evan, it was during our dev sesh, our late night dev sesh, where we played a game for 3 hours and completely changed the rules.
I think there was a big confluence of people meeting for the first time that night. Evan was there, Mike was there, Andrew was there.
David Diaz was there. That's a guy that I need to get in. He wasn't at the show, otherwise I would have tried to get him on in for an interview. But I just assume everybody already knew Wes, and I was just like the last one to the party, to be honest.
I don't know if TJ is still here, but he took this part of the photo. He put an arrow, and it just says "this guy." I love it.
Oh, it's so good. Look at the intensity in his eyes.
Very intense.
Matt's got the game face on.
Photo?
He's ready to go, man.
What do you mean you're taking a photo? Anywho, good stuff. Good stuff. I wish TJ was here for that one. There he is. Yeah, this guy.
So let me real quick just say, so I try to make a point to go around and see people that have either the White Walker stare. Nice. I try to make a point to go around and say hi and just thank you to the people that have supported the show in the past, whether it's a demo copy or whether they've given us an interview, or anything like that, a review copy of a game. And Trick or Treat Studios, I was already there I was there for multiple reasons. Chris Gaizat, 317 Games, they got Shadowgate signed. with Trick or Treat. And then I met Joe Stonkin from Trick or Treat and did an interview on camera with him last year at Gen Con when we were just sort of like doing that guerrilla style, camera on tripod thing. And I walked over there to buy a copy of Texas Chainsaw Massacre because I want that freaking game. I've been excited about their game. And their upcoming game, Halloween, designed by Emerson Matsuuchi. He's done a thing or two.
A couple things, including a game you don't like. Go on.
That's all right. They don't all got to be I mean, it's still a banger. I just don't like it. But Joe, like, I was really just flattered and humbled because he goes, "Hey man, hey Tim, how's it going?" He recognized me right away, which is weird. It's still weird to me because I don't expect anybody to know me. But we talked for a little bit. I asked him how the show's going and everything, and then he's like, "Oh, are you getting, or did you see we got Chainsaw here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm here to buy it." And he's like, "Well, do you want to review one?" And I was like, "Well, sure. I mean, I'll buy it." And he gave me one. So we're gonna do a review of that. Katia, there's my other favorite Canadian. So we're gonna do a review of it. But I was just very flattered that he, I mean, that was a hot sell for them. I believe they sold out of that at Gen Con. He did not have to give us a copy for a review, but he did, and it was very generous of him, and I just appreciate that camaraderie. We talked about, I don't think this is a secret, so I can say it, but they're doing a reprint of Scoville, and they're fixing the colorblind issue, and I am very excited for Bob. Evan, dude, I thought we were cool. Evan,
I think Katia missed Karen, just barely. I don't think she's still here.
Maybe. Yeah. If she's smart, she would have been gone. Well,
there's that.
But yeah, I just want to just a very personal thanks to Joe and Trick or Treat Studios. They, as a horror movie fanatic, they've got a lot of stuff that is made for me. And they are just awesome people over there. I'm really excited. And then Chris and Eric Gaizat and Carl over there, just awesome dudes. And again, have been friends of the show from the beginning. We will always review their content honestly, but because we got blood orders from them, and that was like, okay, we weren't as excited about that as we were with like Nightmare Production. But like, here's the thing is, they're friends. We're going to review their stuff and we're going to be honest. We're going to give them real feedback. But at the same time, we're going to support their company and their booth because we appreciate what they're doing. And I think that they're good people doing really good things. And I will always support them no matter what, And so
booth is awesome to walk up to because they got all those Halloween masks.
Their booth could have taken all of my money. I almost bought an $80 gizmo while I was at their booth. I almost did, but I would have been out of money at that point. Justin, I let's hope, man. Let's hope. But we are who we are. Mike and I, like the Mike that you and I see, that you see right now, the Tim you see right now, the guys you see at the show. That's us, man. We're high energy. We're excited to be here. We're the real deal. I think that helps put us aside from everybody else. Here's our number one fan. I'm their number one fan.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, Sam Stockton. Okay, so I'm gonna tell a story about this man right here. Sam Stockton is ridiculously generous with his time and his his friendship. So we missed his Friday night event. I went over there to personally apologize because we had stuff going on right after the show. And then by the time it looked like we could get over there, we weren't sure that we could get over there, if there would still be people there. And it was just I really hated missing their gathering that we were invited to and that we said would be there. And I was really upset about that we couldn't be there. And I wanted to just go over and personally apologize. And I did. And Sam gave me some guff, which I deserve. And that's totally fine. But then Sam says, "Hey, you got a minute? Walk with me." Sam walks me over to the Smirk and Dagger booth. He's like, "I want you to meet Kurt. Do you know Kurt?" I'm like, "No, I don't know Kurt." Kurt Covert, the owner of Smirk and Dagger, was in a meeting. So we walk around and then we meet Scott, the designer of Boop. and boop. And we talked to Scott for a few minutes. I book an interview with Scott, and Sam's like, okay, I think Kurt's out of his interview. Come with me real quick. So we go back around. Kurt's getting it out of his meeting. He goes, hey, Kurt, you got a minute? I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. And next thing I know, I'm talking to Kurt for a few minutes. He gives me a handful of games to review and talk about, and then agrees I'm over for an interview. The man did not have to do that. He had one of the busiest booths at the con. They sold out of Boop like day one, or Boop day one, actually made arrangements. I think he talks about it on camera in the interview, but makes arrangements to bring in like another truckload of games, so then he can proceed to sell out again at the show. They had one of the hot games at the show that wasn't Disney Lorcana, and they deserve all the success that they have been getting, because again, and then the Spill designer was there too, but it's like Third World Studios, right? Or BA Games. It's just a booth filled with awesome people. Like there's not a single person in there that I wouldn't like recommend you go and meet. You know what I mean? They were just all really cool, wonderful. And it was so exciting because I still think of us as sort of a very small, no-name channel. You know what I mean? I call us punk rock. You know, we're scrappy, we're young. And I
don't know about the young part. Go on.
Well, okay, yeah, we're scrappy, and young is in channel years. But without even blinking, dude gave us a chance, you know. And then later on, Mike, your friend, Daniel Cervantes, right? Did I get that right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Came over and was asking, and he was talking about the small little, I don't want to demean it by calling it little, but a small local-ish convention that he's running to raise charity. And I just was like, I'm just going to take a flyer and I'm going to say, go over to Smirk and Dagger and talk to Kurt, because I just talked to him today and he seems like a badass dude and he probably would help you out. And then I told him, I said, when you're done there, I'd go over to Academy Games and talk to Uva or Jim over there, because those guys are, you know, very kind and very generous, and you know, maybe they'd help you out. So Daniel goes over to Smirk and Dagger booth, comes back, and I forget what game they gave him, but they gave him a game for his silent auction. And then he goes over to Academy Games. Well, I run over there to say hey to them and kind of then do like a little handshake for Daniel, and they give Daniel something to review. I forget which one, or not for review, sorry, for the silent auction, like to donate for the charity. And I'm just like, because I watched Sam do it for me earlier, and it's like, if I get to pay it forward just one time, if I can help somebody else, and maybe they would have given that game to Daniel anyways, they probably would have, but it felt good to just be able to go, hey, this is my friend, you know, he's running a charity, you want to talk to him. And I had him talk to Daniel first before I even asked for anything or talked, you know what I mean, before I even said anything to them. It was just kind of a crazy, again, like confluence of events, and just a wonderful experience, you know. And your friend Daniel is just really trying to do good things, raising money for, you know, mental health and awareness, you know, to help these kids out. And it was really nice, even if I just was able to contribute like this much. And Mike and I have already committed. We're gonna do a table there, and we're gonna play some games at that convention. You'll see more about it. But yeah, we gave him the push in the swing.
Wow.
But you know, and Evan, I guess you're kind of right. Like, we're trying to help. Like for me, I love helping the design. You know, like designers with games that I'm excited about. You know what I mean? Like Evan's game After the Empire. We were promoting that way early because we were very excited about it. Not that they needed our help, because that was a great success for Gray Fox, you know, and them, and a really good title. But to give anybody a platform to showcase like their new game, hell yeah, let's do it. I love it. I want to catch these guys before they're Eric Lang, and then we could just be old school buddies by the time that they're all big and famous. And then maybe they'll shout out their little friends at the Board Game Rundown every once in a while.
Let me segue a couple things here. Number one, right over there is where we played Forges of Ravenshire for the first time. Right over there. There's a table over there. Right over there.
Well, your first time. I played it at Origins. I got invited to like an after hours, exclusive thing. But
over there. Okay. Justin met him and he gave some good advice on their game Claw. So that's awesome. And yes, you should definitely pick up Forges because it is a great dice placement game.
Yes.
We've got our viewers. No, Tim, don't let me say a sentence. How dare I finish a sentence? We've already got our fans ranking themselves. So Jason, he wants to be number 2. Evan's number 7. Andrew's an honorable mention at number 12. Dennis thinks we should sell out stadiums. And, of course, Jason is congratulating on Andrew being an honorable mention and hopes that he can make it to the top 10 someday.
Actually, I think Andrew gets a boost because he's actually played games with us.
What else we got? Yeah, we're trying. Tim and I have kind of been talking about not only just the direction of the show, but just kind of what has sort of organically happened is we are giving a lot of indie designers airtime on our show, and we love doing it because, as Tim said, one of you guys could be the next Eric Lang, and just being a small part of that it's rewarding. It feels really good knowing that we can give you guys the small pedestal that we've got to speak from. That being said, I've got to say it's really weird to see Andrew in the chat and not messaging us in Facebook, disrupting the stream. So it's a welcome change. It's a welcome change. Jason, you can expect I would do it this weekend, but I only have one more weekend to get ready for Alaska. So next month, I will be hosting an event at my house right here in this basement. RiceCon number 3, I think. I don't know. But we'll get there.
Yeah. So, actually, anybody that we will share in the Discord, the event that Mike's buddy's hosting. So if anybody wants to drive to Warsaw, Indiana, right, Mike? Warsaw?
Yes, Warsaw, Indiana, Edgewood Middle School.
And I will be there with my kids, but Mike and I are both committed to being there. It's gonna happen. It'd be a great opportunity to play some games. I will happily ignore everyone for Jason if he comes in.
Well, yeah. Rice-ageddon. Yes. The Ricening. Oh, man. Woo!
Okay. TJ's spoiler alert, Andrew ain't got no guns. They're like the Popeye, droopy afterwards. Oh, yeah, we got pictures to talk about.
Yeah, Sam donated Cult of the Deep to that event.
Yeah, God, he's so generous.
And he didn't have to do that, but I mean, I shot a video for it. I was really just kind of trying to promote his event because we want to be there and it's for a good cause. So,
hey, what did your boy TJ do for our giveaway?
Oh, he threw Earth into the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I knew you'd come around.
Yeah, which we definitely appreciated. So there you go. I didn't get to play this one. It sounded like you guys were having fun with it, though.
This is Sides. It's really good. It's by the designer of That's So Clover. Super fun. I talked enough. We can keep moving. I'm sorry.
Oh. No. We're good.
That Sam story, I had to tell that Sam story because I just appreciate guys like Mike, Giuliano, and Sam so much. Oh, Perfect Wave. Fletch walked me through from the op. Sean Fletcher walked me through how to play Perfect Wave. I cannot wait to play this game. I've got to talk to Andrew Esposito. I'm going to try to get a copy. And what up, Josh? I'm going to try to get a copy of Perfect Wave. It's really neat, and they The game is going to be very straightforward, and I think a lot of people really like it. And then if you're a surfer, there's going to be a lot of things in there you are going to see and appreciate. But I think even without being a surfer, you're going to be able to really enjoy this game. That's what I've got for Perfect Wave.
Hey, there's Jim.
There's me, Bobby, and Jim right after playing his game, Zombie Survival Infection. Jim was super cool. I'm really glad. I can't wait to have him on a Whiskey Wednesday with us. It was really awesome getting to meet him. I bought some Mimic dice from his booth for my kids as souvenirs.
Nice. What else we got in here? There you go. There's more of the guys from Parakeet Griffin.
Yes, I love this one. I was so much. Yes, we got everybody too. We got everybody.
Well, yes, we got all of them. Correct.
Yeah, all of them.
And this was on the way.
This might have been in my driveway right before we pulled out.
I can't tell where that is.
Not long before we started the live stream, or that might have been after our drive-through.
That was actually after we picked up food, or right when we were picking up food. We had to eat before the stream.
Andrew, we had everyone that matters. Yeah, so some dude. So there was an astronaut made out of balloons that was by the lunar lander. That was the big Gen Con, like balloon sculpture thing. And this guy, I'm assuming, was associated with them, but put on the astronaut suit somehow and was like running through the hall while we were waiting to meet up with the Parakeet Griffin people. So I took a couple pictures of that dude jumping around. No, Jason, there's only one person out of the whole crew that got snippy with anybody, and it wasn't Mike or I. That's all I'll say.
Tim and I like to give each other a hard time a lot, so it's never personal. We know that.
No. Yeah. No. Mike and I will give each other a hard time, but we like to just give each other shit because that's our love language. So it's all good. Oh, yeah. This is Four Horsemen, and he had minis painted. And
those look incredible.
Jeremy Rowley. This game's really hard. I believe that's Uriel.
Wow.
Super cool.
And then this one over here. Wow.
Yeah, that's just the time marker. That's the round track.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
With a skull on top of it. Wicked awesome.
Oh, dude, the production on that game is sick. It is sick. Yeah, it looks
exactly, great. Evan. Just walking by this game, I was like, wow, I'm jealous I'm not demoing this.
Yeah, it's really fun too. There's our boy Vrahode, the creator of Vrahode, Jeff Irving. I love this man. He was so cool because we had a great time. We interviewed him at Origins, talked to him a little bit, and he swung by the booth a couple times, and just to say hi, and I really appreciated that because he had demos rocking nonstop. Justin, dude, thank you so much for coming by and commenting. We are here for you. Whatever you need, we're big fans. We're here for you. Pop on anytime. Seriously. If you want to come on a Whiskey Wednesday with us, let us know. Let's make that happen. Speaking of Whiskey Wednesdays and having guests, we're going to have Jeff on a Whiskey Wednesday. That dude's got some stories. That man has been around. He's seen some things, is super cool and very interesting. And on top of that, he has got a badass game on his hands. I mean, deep dungeon crawler. Like, I'm not going to say like Lookout Gloomhaven, but maybe Lookout Gloomhaven, because it's going to be a completely different style in a different universe, but it's going to be that kind of depth, man. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I cannot wait. And it's not like Oh, go on.
Oh no, finish.
I was just going to say,
I have a different.
I was just going to say, it's not like he's coming after, Gloomhaven or anything, but it's just that kind of style of game with campaign and like super in depth, so very cool.
Learned after adding him as a Facebook friend that he went on an Alaskan cruise like 2 weeks ago. So I need to talk to this guy about that.
Yeah, you do.
And that is no, we are not at the end of your pictures. There's Jeremy with Four Horsemen all set up. But just the table presence on this thing is awesome.
Yeah.
Look at this game. Yeah, amazing. I'm finishing my second one here, TJ. So we're not messing around tonight, and my ice is already melted. So shame for shame. All right, but yeah, love the table presence of that one, and that is officially the end of Tim's photos. I have many, many more. I took a lot. So I told Tim, and we made it a point. It was a focus going into the con. Hey, guys, we need to take a lot of photos. This is going to be an epic experience. We're going to meet a ton of people, and we really need proof that we did all the things that we said we did. So I really made it a point of emphasis to take buttloads of photos. So you are going to see the fruit of that.
So if you want to see Mike's photos, be sure to give this video a thumbs up while you're still watching.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So there you go. There's us at the Yard House, having some fun, kicking back.
Dennis, thank you again, man. I'm enjoying it immensely, and it was wonderful seeing you. Thank you for taking some time and coming by and saying hi to us. And you totally did not have to do this, but I really appreciate it.
You're the man, Dennis.
So thank you.
How is that whiskey, by the way?
It's pretty good. I'm sure our friend Jim is going to be like, well, if you like Japanese whiskey, that one's okay, but let me tell you a really good one, because that man purports to be an expert, and I believe him.
Here's my flight. You can see the variance in color. I prefer them dark. I think the lighter ones are sours, my other favorite. There we go. So we thought this was funny. Bob and I are walking around. Sent this to Jason like 10 minutes after snapping this picture. Evan, it was a mixture. Actually, since you asked, I'm a huge craft beer fan. Seriously, love my craft beer. Over here, I've got a hazy IPA, 2 sours, and over here is a porter. The sour, this one, I ended up getting a pint of later. It was excellent. So love it.
And me being a hack is like, give me the most pilsnery beer you have.
And here's this guy again. He's great. This guy's great. I gushed about Mike in a different post, but he is just fantastic for the hobby. He's a great person. He watches our show. He supports the Rundown. I can't say enough great things about him.
Jim wants to know what we're drinking. I'm not going to try to pronounce that.
Oh, you missed it. That's okay. I, sir, am drinking Four Roses single barrel. I'm a big fan of everything Four Roses. I really like their small batch as well. It's a little bit less than this, and I think it's still really good, but all Four Roses products are excellent. I'm a big fan. So, yeah, there we go. There's, yes, sir. Yeah, love me some Four Roses, especially the single barrel. But for $30, it's hard to do much better than their small batch as well. There we go. There's the first photo of the prototype of Claw. Yeah, good stuff. That was fun. I can't wait to see what happens with this game in the future. They play tested it a ton. We also got to shoot a tabletop simulator play of it, even like the weekend before Gen Con. They got a couple things they're going to try and tweak and experiment with. This might turn into a series, guys. We're already talking about filming more tabletop simulator plays of Claw. I'm excited to be the guy that brings it to you. I really am. I really enjoy it. So there you go. There's Wes with his prototype. This guy helped design a game and set up the prototype of his own game for the first time on that table in our booth. Like, what kind of feeling is that to set up a prototype of your own game for the very first time? This guy's like beside himself here. He was so excited. It was fun to watch it. It was fun to watch.
How awesome is it that we got to host that? Like, I just love that we had the opportunity to film that and just be a part of that experience. I am so grateful for that.
Like, you should have seen the smile on his face just setting up components for his own game. Like he was beside himself. It was awesome. I'm so humbled to be a part of that. Really is. Yeah, it's really, really cool experience for sure. What else I got here? Yeah, here's all of us with Wes. Love this picture. There's a couple more of Wes. Here's one of my other favorites coming. Here we go. So Wes, we had a lot of people in our booth. Okay, we already talked about it. We had like 40 different people in our booth. Okay, and so none of the people that came to our booth to talk about their games really paid any attention to the wheel, except for Wes. Look at him eyeing it. He's like, "What? You guys have a wheel? There's prizes on it. You can get a hug or a fist bump or a high five or a mini pop." And so he was so excited about it, he spun the wheel. I love this photo. I love this photo. That's how playful West is. Like, he asked to spin the wheel. And he won a mini pop, and he was excited about it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you just won't find a more genuine guy, just what a blast.
So yeah, it was just funny to me that he even asked, and then he did it, and he wanted to. He was excited about spinning that wheel. So just very genuine, fun, playful guy. There we go. There's Darren showing off Waddle Waddle. I did not catch the name of his buddy.
I did, and then it left my brain during the convention. I apologize. They were very gracious, and it was really nice to get to meet them, and I was glad that they took some time and did that with us.
For sure. And yeah, Bob said he was surprised that he thought the game was pretty good. So not that like it wasn't going to be, but sometimes you just don't know. Thank you for watching, Shannon. We appreciate you. Good to meet you.
I appreciate you even just being in here for a minute. So thank you so much. Happy anniversary. Enjoy work tomorrow. Nobody's going to enjoy work tomorrow.
We got people joining in on their anniversary. How crazy is that? All right. So yeah, I mean, you never know when you see a game about penguins, but Bob said he really enjoyed this one. So and the art, this picture's taken from his trip in Antarctica where he got the idea for the game. That's an amazing story in itself. Yeah, I'd love to hear that story sometime of a trip. Of a trip to Antarctica. That would be epic. So there they are playing it. More shots of that. I take a lot of photos, so there you go. You're gonna get some repeats. There's me being goofy, like, oh my gosh, you got a booth, look. We can skip me. There we go. There's the dudes right there.
Yeah.
So a year ago, we're at Gen Con. We don't have a booth. We're barely a channel. And, we're just seeing who we can meet. And I got to meet Katsia for the first time after talking to her on Facebook for like years prior. And I met her at the Third World Studios booth. I hadn't met Mike or Donnie or Corey. None of those guys. I didn't even know their game existed. And she's like, hey, you guys should check out this game in our booth over here. See the easels over there? It's called Mission Control Critical Orbit. You guys should check it out. I'm like, whoa, what is this? As you know, we played it in that booth. It was one of my favorite experiences of Gen Con. And then I played their game in our booth this year. It was like this feather in my cap, just being able to do that. It was really amazing. It was a blast. These guys are awesome. They made a super fun game. And just the fact that they took the time to come to our booth and play it with us was an amazing experience.
Mike, it still freaks me out that I get to, because I've been a fan of games for ages. And it freaks me out sometimes that we get to play games with the people that make these games that we absolutely love and freak out over. And they're so nice and kind and want to hang out with us. It still blows my mind that's even a thing.
Playing games with the designers of those games has become one of my favorite things to do, because I can see them looking for the people to enjoy their game. So that moment that I'm learning a game and it like clicks and I get to go, oh, this is really good. I'm just waiting for the designer on the other table to go, yes, he likes my game. I like giving them that gratification of knowing, yes, I am thoroughly enjoying your creation. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's like, I don't know, telling someone you like their art or you like their music, it's exactly the same thing. Doubles, because I take multiple. We got pictures of Paul coming up. I got some, but I went over looking for him. I seeked Paul out. I went to his table over there, and I didn't see him, so I took this picture and then stuck it in his Discord. And then I took a couple because that's what I do. But then I circled back and I ran into these guys. So
they look familiar.
I took a picture with the Kinson Key guys in front of Paul's banner, and then we stuck that photo in his Discord. So that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I think that was even. I think that was before Colton and I did the interview. I don't remember. It doesn't matter that much. And then I finally caught Paul, and we got a picture of his game. And spoiler, we're going to be shooting the Kickstarter preview this weekend. Just saying.
Yeah, Paul's got a really good game on his hands. He's got a really good game. I think people need to know about it. Yes. But I think he's got a really good game on his hand.
You want to talk about a game that has a ton of strategic depth, but not a lot of rules? This is that game. Paul won an Ion Award for this game for that reason. So I'm excited to finally put some video to this game. And he did demo it. That file we've got to edit and get released, but we should have that up by the end of the week. There you go. There's the dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All-star cast.
That might be the hottest table right there. You take Bob out of there, you got some sexy dudes in there just kicking ass and taking names. Oh, I love it. I really want to play Gnome Hollow really bad. And I was disappointed that I didn't get to sit in on Sirens because I think Matthew Ryan's got a badass game right there on his hand. That 3-pack of Defrag, 16 candies and Sirens. Yeah, I think that's just like a nice little cluster bomb of fun to throw in to your game night. And I'm really excited for Envyborn Studios. I can't wait to see what else they do. Just can't have a better group of guys sitting there at that table.
And they all fit in a fanny pack.
They do. All those guys fit in your fanny pack, ladies.
Hey, speaking of, where's Matthew tonight? He's usually in here. I bet he'll pop in at some point. We'll have to come back to this picture. I got a few pictures of those guys.
Hey, there's Andrew.
Very random photo that Mark was not expecting.
Oh, is Mark I was like, who's in the background there?
That is Mark. So
that's our benefactor. That do not
know, he is the game store owner that lets us use his studio to film the rundown. He is the whole reason this channel exists, guys. So that's Mark.
Bob, I did hear about the app for the Sirens game, but then I jumped off the boat and swam to my doom. Get it? Because you can't hear the sirens and you're in trouble.
I really want to play Sirens. I like the theme and I like the concept of it playing a song when you're done.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
More of that. All-star cast here.
More of that. Look at that hotness.
We got this guy over here. We got Mark is cool, man. He's a gamer too, man. That's the whole reason he owns a store and wanted to start these channels. In case you guys didn't know, it's not just one channel. He's hosting the game industry rundown. We have the miniatures rundown. We've got Magic the Gathering rundown. It's a whole series of channels just because of Mark. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So this was actually, I did not mean to take this photo. So I was in selfie mode. So I'm like doing this. And then I see her walk up and I'm like, oh, let me get her in the photo. So as I'm lowering my arm, I apparently snapped the photo as I was lowering my arm. And I got this super weird shot of London from Parakeet Griffin.
Oh, that's London. I was like, who'd you take a picture of? Yeah.
But that was the photo that we ended up with that Andrew spoiled. Just kidding. Just kidding.
We all know Dan. Dan's the one that spoiled that picture. No, London's the best. She's super cool. Her and Christina, I met at Origins. They were the first ones from Parakeet Griffin that I met, and they're awesome. They're awesome people.
And then, of course, there's the other dudes in the background there playing Twilight. There's the gang.
Yeah.
That's the gang. That is the first photo of all 6 of us. That's the first one, Tim.
What was that taken? Friday morning? Before Andrew put sleeves on?
No, that was Thursday morning as we were setting up. This was before we got rocking and rolling.
No, Andrew wasn't there Thursday morning. He came Thursday afternoon.
It must have been Sunday after we were tearing down then. I don't remember when it was because we still have games on the table here, so I don't remember. Yeah. But this is the only photo of all 6 of us. Isn't that crazy to think about?
I think it's Friday morning during setup.
Okay. Which, by the way, Tim, spoiler, this is what I was going to make our Facebook group photo. This.
Send it to me, and I will, and I'll make it that since you couldn't.
Yeah. So I'm not cool enough to be an admin, I guess. So, yeah, that's the only photo of all 6 of us.
I'll say it the way that one of our friends would say it. I'll be like, well, just start the channel, dude, and then you can do it.
What?
If you want to be the admin, just start your channel, dude. Then you can do it.
All right, fine. Then go start the board game rub down.
But you're not allowed to leave my channel. I need you.
Oh, all right. Friends and family, right? Exactly. So there you go. We got a bunch of photos of that. So there we go. Photo bombing Paul in the middle of a demo. I love this one. This is great.
Yeah, if you see I am behind Paul, he does not realize that I am there being a jackass. And
I'm pretty sure he does.
I don't think he knew until after the fact. Oh, his computer froze.
Jim missed a bunch of photos. Oh no. There's so many photos we've covered in the last 5 minutes. Oh, Jim, I'm sorry. You'll have to watch you'll have to bump our algorithm and watch it afterwards.
Let's tell the rubdown story real quick. So
there you go.
So the Stocktons from BA Games, Sam and Ed, the brothers, at Origins last year, I gave them my phone number so we could meet up with them and like talk to them. And Ed accidentally put me in his phone as Tim from the board game Rubdown. And so then I was kind of like, you know what we should do, guys, is we had a player mat, a play mat from their first game, Cult of the Deep. And I was like, okay, let's do this video. And it's either going to be absolutely hilarious and they will love us or they will never talk to us again. And so we took this video and it's just our hands going over the playmat going, and we kind of did like our typical intro. So I was like, I'm Tim. And then it was like, I'm Spencer, I'm Bob and Dan. And all our hands are rubbing each other over the mat. And we're like, this is the board game rub down. And then I sent it to them. And thankfully they thought it was hilarious because otherwise they would never talk to us again. Just great dudes. Easy mistake to make. But yeah, there's me being a jackass behind Paul while he is rocking demos of his fantastic game. Please continue, Mike. I apologize.
No, you're good. This is what the pictures are for, to get those stories out. We played some Soul Clover. I'm a big fan. I always just take a photo so I don't forget what I had set up. Oh, yes, Jason. I also just got my Zoo Vadis shipping notice, which is crazy because I still don't have one for Saucony. At this point, I have to have my neighbor drive by my house daily during the 2 weeks I'm in Alaska so that box doesn't sit out on my front porch and get stolen. I'm serious. Like, sometime next week, I'm going to message her because, ironically, when we were at Origins, Lords of Ragnarok delivered, and I asked her to go pick it up for me. Here I'm going to be in Alaska, and Castle Burgundy is going to get delivered. So it just, what timing. But yeah, no, I can get a tracking number for Zuvadas, which I am excited about, by the way. But no, can't bother me for a tracking number for one of my all-time favorites. No, Lord help us. All right. There you go. So Clover. There you go. There's more of the dudes right there. This was Thursday morning on the way to our booth. These are the first people I stopped and talked to because our hotel was on the other side. It was on the side of the 3-digit booth numbers, and these guys were in 151. So, like, the first stop I made was in their booth to see who was there, and I ran into all those dudes. So that was pretty cool. So I had to snap that picture.
That's an all-star lineup right there. You know, you take Rice out of there, and you got.
Well, you get my big ass head out of there, and you're doing pretty well. So I'm just there to make those guys look small. So, there's Colton. So he gave a great interview with me in the booth about how Kinston Key Games got started, how Galactic Cruise became a thing. And it's funny, we actually talked about cruises for a little bit too, because he and TK are big fans of doing that. So we got into a little bit of travel. The guys from Kinston Key, again, just very genuine, friendly dudes. And they're working on a fantastic game that I'm sure you've heard of by now. And if you haven't, we will be giving it more coverage very soon. We're going to do a tabletop simulator play of that game. So looking forward to that. But these guys are working on something special, and they're super genuine, friendly guys. I look forward to seeing them every chance I get.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Paul in the booth with Gempire. Yeah.
Somebody's giving.
I don't know who that was. I think that was Dan.
Dan's giving you some bunny ears.
Yeah. And by the way, Gempire is coming to Kickstarter on September 26th. The most coincidental date ever. That's my birthday.
Oh, hey, happy birthday.
Paul is releasing his game on Kickstarter on my birthday. So I don't know if there's something ironic about that. I don't know what else is. All right. There's TJ. Love
TJ.
his games. I said it before in a post that this guy just makes games that have themes that I gravitate to. I love to travel and I love to be outdoors. This guy makes a hiking game set in the Smoky Mountains, one of my favorite places in the world. Then he goes and makes a football game, one of my favorite things in the world. Like, really?
Yeah.
Stop it, TJ. Stop it.
I wanna play Pigskin so bad.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. We had to because we had an hour in the booth, we had to cut it to halftime. And of course, he was teaching the game at first and learning games, slowed it down a little bit. Yeah, it's fun. It's got a dry erase scoreboard on the bottom of the box. So for fun, we made it the Volunteers versus the Boilers. So that was fun. That was Tennessee versus Purdue if you're scoring at home. He won 15-14 because he made a 2-point conversion, and my 2 timeouts did not give me enough time I missed a 50-yard game-winning field goal. So 15-14, Volunteers won. There we are again, playing some Everdell later in the night. It was cool to just hang out with those guys. You know, it's just like, he's been just a guy I've been messaging for like a year now. So to be able to just hang out and play games, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And the most egregiously overproduced score markers in the history of score markers. What are these? These are just score markers for Everdell Farshore.
Those are extra points. That's not just a score marker. You get points based on where you're at. That's not your total score. That's an addition.
That's not your total score, but it still marks something that you track that adds to your score. Do you really need a plastic ship with a meeple and a cardboard sail on your score marker? Ridiculous. Yes. You don't. Anyway, there it is set up. It was my first time playing it. I was excited. Those ridiculous score markers sitting up there at the top corner. Then I went and shot a picture of the other guys at the other table that was next to us. These bums playing sides over there. Mm-hmm. Another photo, just goofing around. There's Sam.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Spencer's playing in the background there. Hard to tell. Can't really read that box.
I don't remember.
I'm sure we got pictures of it already. Hey, there we go. There's
is that Lunar Rush?
Lunar Rush. Yeah, from Dead Alive. Looks really cool. Can't wait to play it Friday. There we go. David Turksey in our booth. Bob interviewed David Turksey. And as far as I know, this is the first coverage you're ever going to see of his upcoming game, Nucleum. So I snapped several photos of Bob talking to David because it was pretty cool to have him in the booth. That was probably the biggest name we had in our booth, and I was kind of humbled that he even agreed to do it. I'm just going to tell you guys, David was a complete shot in the dark, okay? I replied to a comment he made in a Facebook group about how he said, I don't always like talking to random people, but I love talking to new people at cons about games. And I replied, will you be at Gen Con? He said yes. So I messaged him, and he agreed to do this interview. That was it. It was crazy. And he was awesome. I love his energy. His energy is great.
He was super cool. It was amazing.
Me photobombing the interview. This was going on at the same time. This was named The Thing.
Yes, with Low Key Games. Yeah, they were super fun. John and I, and then his wife, it was Annalise and Priscilla. Super fun. They were hilarious. It was a good time.
More of that going on.
I'm really disappointed I didn't get a picture with Andrew Styles or Seppi or Grant. I will wait till all the pictures are done and I will tell my stories about them. But because I don't think there's any pictures of me with them. But who's that? Oh, okay.
Just me shooting random booth photos, photobombing Matt here. Doesn't he look so confused?
Yeah, Brian, it was Annalise and not Annalisa. But I will say everybody I've met with a name that is like that or similar, pretty cool.
We had two things going on in the booth at the same time. So I was making sure we had pictures of both things going on at the same time. So multitasking here is what I'm doing. Then David, when his interview was over, shot some photos with us. So we got a bunch of photos with him and Nucleum. And man, this is like going to be brass on steroids. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it. Okay, so there you go, David. So the other big interview that my biggest interview was Stan Kordonsky. My favorite game of his is Resurgence. I think this game is fantastic. This is a great engine building game. And during that interview, I learned that he won the Dice Tower Award for what happened there? Sorry about that. For strategy games for Endless Winter. So I asked him what modules he thinks we should use. And Stan is great. I could just tell just messaging him. So after we shot the Resurgence review, and I realized I loved it, I gave the game a 9. I think it's one of my favorite games that was new to me this year. Randomly messaged Stan, and I was like, hey, love this game. It's really good. You want to come to our Gen Con booth and talk about it and other stuff? And he said yes. I was like, really? So I just on a whim reached out to David Turksey and Stan Kordonsky, and they both agreed to come to our booth. And it was just like, I still, it happened, and I'm still like in disbelief. And Stan was awesome. He was super friendly, very genuine. He's a great designer. He's got a ton of great games under his belt. And I can't wait to talk to him more. There we go. There's more TJ and George.
Yeah.
Guys from Hike It. So like I said, I take multiple photos. There we go. So during my little bit of free time, I got a chance to sneak back over to Third World Studios, and I got a glimpse of Team Blue getting set up over here. I never caught Team Red. I snuck by this booth multiple times just to see who I could see in the booth. But yeah, this is Team Blue getting set up here, which unfortunately they did lose to Team Red.
So that's Danielle Reynolds, Wes Todd, Donnie Coleman, and Danielle Strandring.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
The reason I picked Team Blue, one, is because it's my favorite color. So just so you guys know. And I like West. So
me too. Me too. And also I talked to Donnie more than I talked to Corey, so I had a bias there.
Oh, Corey's awesome too, but Blue's my favorite. Oh no. Color, so
Corey's great, but I talked to Donnie more. I'm just saying.
So yeah, then we had Scott Brady,
Bradley,
designer of Boot. Brady, yes. Don't correct me when I'm right. So yeah, he was pretty cool. He was pretty excited that we had him there. And that game's a hit. That game's gonna be a hit.
Oh my god, it already was a hit, and it's just doing more. It's printing money.
I know. They sold out at Origins. They sold out at Gen Con. Yeah, game's a hit. So there you go. There's
this is Bill Bev DeVoe
with Roundtable.
With Roundtable.
Which, by the way, the video of his demo is one of our most watched Gen Con videos so far. So that's
it's hot on Kickstarter right now. I got it linked there, and yeah, it looks super cool.
I find it really funny that we have the chemistry professor spelling it as nuclear. It's funny to me. He's doing it on purpose. That's why he's funny. Yes, he has a ton. It's a great list of games. I have not had a chance to play Lockup yet, but to me, it looks like Secret Worker Placement Deployment, which I think kind of set the grounds for Resurgence. I think he used some of those mechanics in Resurgence because it has Secret Deployment. I really want to play Rurik because it uses an auction mechanic for the action selection. So I really want to try this one. Stan also, sorry, I'm getting away from this picture. Stan had a really interesting thing to say in that video about how he really likes to play aggressive territory control games, but he doesn't design those types of games. He likes to keep players in mind, and that's why he designs several worker placement games. I'm like, dude, you need to design an aggressive territory control game. He's like, you know what? Maybe I will someday. I'm like, yes. Please do. Everybody will buy that game.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bill was great. So there you go. More of the guys from Parakeet Griffin.
Yay.
Love their party game. So fun. You've seen us play it, and we think it's great. That's why we play it.
It's true.
There we go. There's live action right before that video started. Of us playing Mission Control with Donnie and Corey. Man, that was such a fun experience. I played it with him on camera. It was so awesome. And then there they are signing the screen for the winner of Mission Control. Nope, that is not Tim's copy.
It is, alas,
I'm sorry.
not my copy.
I'm sorry.
It was my idea to get it signed on the screen where they are portrayed, and
I know. I'm sorry. Posing with them after the game. So cool. So cool.
You go to the bathroom for 5 minutes, and that's what happens.
But not for Tim.
That's all right.
Thank you so much for doing this, Donnie. It really was a blast. I'm still just humbled that you guys did this for us.
Well, let me just say, for all of my grousing about not getting mine signed, I thought it was awesome that you guys did that, and then we were able to give someone who won a contest a signed copy of that game. And you guys did not have to do that, and it was very kind of you, very generous of you, and it's just a testament to you and Corey's characters. I really appreciate that. And Donnie, shut up. You have a great game, and we all want your autograph.
Oh, no. And Tim, just to make you a little more jealous, it's my turn in our ongoing game of Lost Ruins of Arnak on BGA.
Damn you, Mike. You're not playing games with Donnie? Oh, I got to get on BGA.
Hey, do you play anything on BGA? And I'm like, well, I've been terrible about playing games on BGA, but if I know people are playing, yeah, I might get back onto it. Let me just start up a game of Lost Ruins and see what happens.
Yeah, Jason, as founder of the channel, I could try to commandeer that copy, but I have an image to maintain. I can't, let everybody know like what a true hideous golem I am inside Precious. So I have to save face and pass it on. I know that Donnie and I's paths will cross in the future, so I will have opportunities to get my copy signed. It'll still happen. For now, it's a hilarious running joke that Mike screwed me out of a copy, out of an autograph.
Hey,
but I got my picture with Donnie.
I wasn't even scheduled to be in the booth at that time, but damn right it was not going to miss that chance.
No, hell no. Absolutely.
So there you go. There's Dennis. He was on a little bit earlier. He's the one that made Worn Wanderers. That's the game you can play on your lanyard and
that's
yeah.
Yeah,
great
that's
guy.
Dennis.
Also a Purdue grad, just saying.
I mean, most people are pretty cool. No, Dennis is awesome. I love that he came by and said hey to us.
There is Chris and Spencer talking about his game Heroes of Thargos. That was actually after hours because Chris had his own booth. So we appreciate that he took the time to come over and do this. They were rocking that demo until like 7 p.m. So it was really nice that he was able to do that.
Yeah, I really am amazed at how generous people are with their time. And he didn't have to do that, and he did. It was awesome.
And this was at the end of the day, Saturday. And like originally I was going to do this, but man, after a jam-packed Saturday, I was absolutely whooped. And I kindly asked Spencer to do it, and he happily obliged. And he was awesome with Chris, so I appreciated him for that. Got some pictures of those guys because again, I take pictures of everyone in the booth.
Everyone but me and Andrew Styles, me and Seppi, and me and Grant Lyon. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, I was on the other side demoing. So that's how jam-packed our booth was. We were doing 3 things at once. We had one person doing raffle, one person doing demo, the other person was doing interviews. It was nuts, guys.
And sometimes a 4th person doing the Frosthaven Castles of Burgundy giveaway.
Yeah, which was a hit. That's Aaron from Parakeet Griffin. Again, Fairy Tale Campaign Trail. Watch out for this game, guys. If you like to get goofy and play party games, you got to watch out for this game.
Yeah, Aaron's amazing. I love that guy.
This photo is blurry, and so that's the only reason I didn't put it on social media. But this is Patrick and Julia's house, and we got a chance to go over there and play games with all the wonderful people from BA Games.
And I'm repping my claw shirt there too. So
yes, he's got his claw shirt. So yeah, picture's a little fuzzy. It may not look as bad on this screen because it's not full size, but I would have put this on our Facebook group if it wasn't a little fuzzy, but still a great picture. It's
And
funny because I don't remember who took this photo.
oh, I don't know either. Let me just say though that Patrick and Julia, that's my sister and my brother-in-law. Mike, have you met more gracious hosts than
No.
them?
Never.
I mean, I know I'm biased. It's my sister and it's my brother-in-law, and I love them.
You're not biased. They're the best hosts.
But those guys are freaking amazing. They do so much. They know so many people in the hobby. And they're incredible. I love them. I'm really grateful for them. And I'm stupid lucky to have them as a contact and a connection. And they just, oh my God, they're super helpful. They're wonderful.
They are. Yeah, I still, like a year and a half ago when you invited me to go to their thing for the weekend, I was like, wait a minute, why are you inviting me?
Yeah, Mike, come on, man.
We hadn't known each other that long at that time. And I was like,
I know.
really? You're inviting me? That's awesome. Yeah, they're great. They are the best hosts. Let me give you an idea of how awesome their setup is, guys. So, I humble brag a little bit about my setup. I got, like 4 tables downstairs. It's pretty cool. But they have they have 3 game toppers set up, plus a kitchen table, plus behind here, another table. They can rock 5 tables in this house. Additionally, because Patrick is a lawyer, as many of you know, he runs his practice out of the neighboring house, which has a massive conference table in it. These guys are capable of running 6 tables at once, and one of them being in a guest house. I've never seen a setup like this. They are the best hosts ever.
And I'm just going to tell you right now, Andrew, if I get a say in it, dude,
seriously.
I'm gonna try to get you an invite to a JuliaCon because it's not that far of a drive for you. And I'm gonna try to get the Parakeet Griffin folks also an invite to JuliaCon because it would just be amazing. It'd be so much fun.
Amazing people, amazing hosts, and every time you go there, you get to eat and drink all day long. So it's not booze, but everything else. So no better hosts, no better hosts.
I aspire to be as good a host as them. They're incredible. Right? Hey, there's Karen again.
That's amazing. Yep. So here's their setup. This is one of the tables they had set up. There's us playing Furnace in the background there. We'll get a picture of that in a second, but they're playing Gizmos. There's the BA Games guys.
Yeah, Sam, Andrew.
Yep.
That
Robot that might Quest Arena. This is the kitchen table. You can see behind them that same. I was just going to say, you can see there's the kitchen table behind them. You can see the same game topper that was in that photo before. Mm-hmm. Here's the other room that has a table where we are at playing Furnace, which I tried for the first time. Fantastic bidding game. Engine building.
Karen taught that game.
Yeah, she did. She was really good at it too.
Well, of course she is. She's Karen.
Here's the other game topper. Yes, guys, this is the same house. There's 3 game toppers in this house. So here they are playing
World Wonders.
Thank you.
Arcane Wonders.
Yes. Chris Rudder, great guy.
TJ, TJ, no, man. Trust me, the pleasure is ours. Mike and I are so grateful. I'll just speak for Mike. We're so grateful to get to call you guys our friends. We are so lucky. We are so lucky.
Seriously. We do this because we like you guys. We like games, and we're just passionate about games and getting Great games for many designers. Exposure is one of the most rewarding parts of this. I'm speaking for Tim, but we had this conversation this weekend. Getting indie games exposure is one of the more gratifying things that we do. It really is. There's that same table. They were playing Earth. Woo! I walked in on them setting up Earth. I'm like, oh, I'm so jelly, but I'm hungry. I'll eat.
Yeah. Oh
Which
my
they had
God.
plenty of taco stuff. I had so much.
And we got there late and I ate so much taco stuff. It was like the first hot meal I had had in like 2 days.
Wait, what's this? Jason, you weren't at Gen Con, were you? You would have been in our booth if you were at Gen Con.
He must have sent a spy.
He must have sent a spy in to buy him a game, maybe.
Otherwise, we'll be very mad at him for not coming and saying hi. Because we know he knew where we were.
I stole this picture, but I just wanted to give people an idea how busy Gen Con was this year. They set a record for ticket sales this year.
Over 70,000 people were
Insane.
over 70,000 individual attendees.
Insane. Look at this. Look at this.
And Mike, we had the opportunity to have a 10 by 40 booth in the heart of that freaking show. How stupid lucky are we?
Jason, you should have sent your best friend over to our booth. We would have hooked him up. Just saying, buddy. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, you would have got.
Your buddy would have went home with a game. That's how Board Game Rundown rolls. I'm just saying.
Mike is not wrong. Guess what? You know somebody that runs the channel. You know some guys. We take care of people.
We do. We do. We love it. We love it when people come and see us at these cons. It really, we've talked about before, just hanging out with Andrew, like at Origins, is one of my favorite things. And so meeting anybody that watches the channel is such a blast. We guarantee, we make sure you will have a good time and we will play a game with you.
Let me just shout this out real quick. When I got home, I saw that Andrew had posted on the Board Game Rundown Facebook page of his little guy had designed a game, and they posted a video of how this game plays. Andrew, I said I want to cover this game, dibs on coverage. I'm just telling you, if we get to play a game together and your boy brings that game, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to play it, and I'm going to play it like I play in Brass Birmingham. I'm going to play it, I'm going to be into it, and I'm all about it. I thank you so much for posting that. That made my heart so happy. It really did, dude. And seriously, there it is. There's Wes. We just got stupid lucky, man.
You missed all the claw stuff. Stuff. That was like 20 minutes ago. You don't make me go back. You saw those photos though.
But I'm just gonna say thank you, Andrew, for sharing that video. I absolutely loved it.
Yes, it was great.
If your kid ever wants to play that game and I'm there, I'm gonna play that game. I'm 100% in. I care. I want to be a part of it. And Andrew, if you ever get your game off the ground and you working on it, and you want some eyeballs on it, you know a guy, you know some dudes. All right. Yeah. So anyways, go on, please.
Oh no, I was just gonna say Wes might get lucky. We might go back to the claw photos. We might. And Andrew, I just want to say Tim already gave your son's game a 10. So
it's a 10. It's basically code names.
Too easy, low hanging fruit. All right, so that was how nuts Gen Con was. I got a few more. This was Thursday. We cracked. I'm still just rolling through what I have. We cracked 3,000 subs on Thursday. It was like, wow, we really did. But yeah, it was amazing that this happened Thursday morning of Gen Con. It was kind of surreal that we had all of this going, and at the same time, we cracked 3,000 subs. Tim, when you started this channel, did you honestly think that was realistic?
Dude, I had no idea. I really didn't. When we started, and for months, it was like, oh, we got to 100. We had a big giveaway when we got to 500 subs. You know what I mean? Like, we gave away a ton of games when we got to 500 subs. And then I've talked about it on the show before, but when we crested 1,000 subs, it came at a really good time for me because I was going through a rough time because my mother just passed away. And then that was like a very nice thing to have happen because at least one aspect of my life, you know what I mean, was like, oh no, this is really rewarding. And then we got to do some conventions and the show got to grow because we added Mike and Andrew. And then, you know, through Gen Con last year, it grew even more. And it was like, I believe we had said if we can get to 3,000 subs by Gen Con next year, like we're going to feel like we're in a good spot. And sure enough, we hit it. And now we're how much? How high? I don't want to step on any. I don't want to step on anything. I know we're at 3,200.
3,210 plus.
Yeah. So
we got at least 220 subs out of Gen Con, which isn't
it's
a ton, but that's a lot in a 4-day period.
But you know what we got out of both Gen Con and Origins? We got to meet Evan. We got to make friends with Kurt Covert. I got to be friends with Seppi Yoon. I got to be friends with Andrew Styles. You know what I mean? We get to hang out with West and Justin. You know what I mean? We get to be friends with the Kinson Key guys. I mean, it's just all of these relationships that we have built up, you know, Mike Giuliano and everybody and Donnie and Corey, you know, like all those guys from Third World and all the other people. It's Matt Hansen, right? From Reality Shift. Like all of these friends we made. Jim, freaking, you know, Jim with his game, and he comes to our booth and he's used to do artwork, you know what I mean? For it was World of Darkness. And it's like this dude's artwork is so amazing. And I get to sit at a table like a peer and talk to this guy when we're not anybody. It just blows my mind. It's so rewarding. It's incredible. And you know, like Chris Gaizat that was on there earlier talking about his Shadowgate selling out. That was Trick or Treat Studios' second best selling game. Nightmare Productions was their number one selling game, which makes sense because that's a reprint of a great game. But it's humbling and it's flattering and it's amazing to me that and I'm just so damn lucky that because Mike, we would have already our circles, we probably would have overlapped, but I don't know that we would have had the opportunity to become the friends that we are if it weren't for the show. You took a shot in the dark. You came out to a game night and I just got an awesome vibe off of you, you know, off of your energy, your personality. And I just was like, this dude should be on the show with us. I will never regret that. That was such a, just again, dumb luck. Mike, thank you for doing this with us. You've only helped grow the channel and add ideas. And it's just a testament. I mean, like Evan found us, Evan and his co-designer Ryan from After the Empire, right? They're commenting on our After the Empire video. We're freaking out because it's like the designers noticed our video. And now a year later, like we're friends with Evan. Like I run into Evan, I can give him a hug. You know what I mean? Like he's going to know me. It blows my mind. And it's like this dude's a known quantity, you know, and just to make friends with these guys and all of these wonderful people. And I can genuinely call them friends. I can run into Donnie somewhere. If I ran into Donnie in the wild, I'd just be like, Donnie, you know what I mean? And we could talk and have a great time and it would be awesome. And I can't even believe that I get to call these people my friends. I really can't. It's so stupid. It's so stupid great. So to answer your question, Mike, no, I did not think that we would be where we're at. I cannot believe that it is what it is. I really can't.
We've talked about this story before, but it's worth mentioning because we have a lot more live viewers than we used to have when we started doing this stream, which is another story in itself. When I first started messaging Tim, it was just because he made some comment about Concordia in one of the big Facebook groups, and I replied, I'm like, dude, that's one of my favorite games of all time. And anytime I have a connection with another gamer, I'm just going to hit their profile and go, all right, where's this person from? Wait, he lives in South Bend. Wait a minute, we have some mutual friends. And really, when I started messaging Tim, it was in the hopes that maybe we could have some conversations about board games. Then we started talking a little bit more. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have a group right now. This guy's got to have a group. He's holding out on me.
I was.
I literally was like, and I was so, you can ask Tim, I was so like very cautious about, I didn't want to impose. I'm not one of those people that wants to invite myself. I'm like, Tim, look, I know someone else hosts these nights. I know you got a group, but hey, if you could ask if I could come some night, I would be forever grateful because I love this hobby, but I don't have enough people to play games with. And he did. And that was a year and a half ago. So actually, it's been almost 2 years now. In October, that will have been 2 years ago. One of the best things that could have happened in recent memory for me. So I can't thank you enough for that.
No, Mike, I'm glad you reached out. I'm glad you reached out. This is why I tell people to say yes. It is why I tell people to say yes. Because if you open yourself up to opportunity, you just never know what's going to happen.
I love this.
Tim
I love this comment from Donnie. The real rundown is the friends we made along the way. That's absolutely 100% true. You guys are all friends now. That's how it is.
Yeah. Donnie, Evan, all you guys, you know your friends. You really are, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me.
It wouldn't be my photo reel unless I snagged a meme along the way. So I did snag a meme. I think this was like sometime Friday afternoon. I'm like, that's getting gay. So, what else we got? Okay. Oh boy, Tim.
So we're gonna announce it now. Okay. So guys, what you've heard us talk about?
I put this in there intentionally.
Winston before. So Winston is Bob's dog. And while Bob was in Portugal and at Gen Con, we at my house, the Aberley household, had the pleasure of dog sitting for Bob. Winston has sort of been the unofficial mascot of the Board Game Rundown for a while now. We all love Winston. He is a very, very good dog. And he might be the best doggy. He's pretty great. So we want to start doing our own award, and we want to call it the Winston Award. And I'm just going to also just drop some other stuff right here while we're talking about it. So next year, Board Game Rundown is going to have a booth at both Origins and Gen Con. And I don't know if we'll have a booth at Gamma, but we're going to have a presence at Gamma. So
we'll be there.
I'm just calling 100%. It now.
Yep.
And also, not this year, but next year, we will have a presence at QSCon. I'm just calling it. We're going to be there.
Yep. QSCon 2024.
But what we really, Mark, who is the owner, the godfather of all of this, right, wants to sell some merch and, some rundown merch. What we want to do is we want Winston to be a pin in the pin bazaar. We want to take this beautiful little sweet dog that has charmed my wife and my children for the last 2 weeks. And Mike. And Mike came over like twice, right? Like when we left for Gen Con and when we got back, you're like, well, I got to go in and say hi to Winston.
I had to go inside just to say hi to Winston.
But anyways, we want to, when we rate a game higher than an 8, we want to give it the Winston Award. And we're going to have something that separates it from if it's an 8 or higher versus a 9 or higher. We're still kind of talking about what exactly that's going to be, but we will be giving out the first Winston Award very soon.
This art, the award part and the font is still very kind of rough draft. This was just me. Bob sent me a photo. I just kind of found the first sort of award I could find and the program I was using, slapped this together so I could share with the guys to get the conversation rolling. And it is happening. This is not finalized, but the award, this is happening. We are going to give our 8s and 9s a Winston Award, and I cannot wait for this to roll out.
And we 100% made sure Bob was cool with it first, because this is his sweet, sweet puppy. And it's Bobby's dog. He's got to be okay with it. I asked Bob, I already kind of knew the answer, but I wanted to ask anyways. But I cannot think of a better mascot and a ambassador representative for the show than Winston. And I think Winston will also make a great pin for the Pin Bazaar next year at Gen Con.
Seriously. Yeah, it's it's again, we all got a lot of character. We like to have fun, and we've talked about, well, what can we call a game that we collectively give an 8? What can we call a game we collectively give a 9? And so there's options. It might be a gold, it might be a silver award. We don't know, but either way, it's going to be, yeah, Wes, we're going to get our logo and we're going to get the rundown on there. This is, like I said, a very kind of rough copy of, hey, let me slap something together so that I have something tangible to send to the rest of the guys and go, hey, guys, this is what we've got. This is going to catch on, and it's going to be awesome.
Now, I'm not gonna say anything specific, but we have reached out to somebody about doing their take on this award as well. So we will release details if that ever comes to fruition. But I feel like that is a thing that can happen. And it will be a great way to represent, a dog that we love, right? That's in our family. And also like a unique thing for us to put on there and immortalize the amazing Winston.
I'm so glad. I was just going to add, I'm so glad West was here for the announcement of this, because if there's anybody that loves his dogs, it's that guy.
Yeah.
So
real.
I'm really, I'm going to go back to the claw photos so he can see them. He can rewatch, but we like him enough to give him his pictures here. So we're going to do that.
While you're going back and looking for those, I'm going to tell some really quick stories, really fast. So, because I didn't have pictures with Andrew Styles, for example, Andrew is a co-host of Tabletop Submarine. He's got a couple games in development and signed, waiting to be printed. And Andrew was in on that crazy dev session that West and Mike Rice, and Mike Giuliano, and David Diaz, and the Rossies were all in on. I mean, and Evan. And I became, I met Andrew that night very quickly, introduced myself properly the next day, and was like, dude, you were incredible, because he rolled into that dev session and just started dropping gold on it. He was like Chris Walken in the cowbell SNL sketch. I mean, he just knew, like, he just was like dialed in and just throwing fireballs, and it was great. And so he's like, oh, I do a podcast and I'm a developer, blah, blah, blah. And I had Andrew on the show and got to meet Andrew really and get to know him. He showed up later and played games with us. He just found us randomly playing games
too.
And him and one of his co-designers came in, and I just got to know him more and more. And it's like, this dude freaking rocks. I love this dude. And because I was listening to Tabletop Submarine, and they had Seppi Yoon, designer of Galactic, Galactic Conquest Princess, Fashionist Power, that I just decided to like slide into Seppi's DMs and say, hey, we've got some mutual friends. I would love it if you came on the show. And I So I've been on a few of Sovereignty. That's an app that has some board games you can play. Thanks to Kim and Jim Breeze, I've been on a couple of the game nights that they've hosted, and Seppi was there, and Seppi was hilarious. Well, I heard Seppi on the Tabletop Submarine podcast, and he was hilarious, and he's amazing, and has so many good stories. And then, coincidentally, like this was just a sign, right? Sometimes you just have too many coincidences where you're like, this means something. We had West on our top 10 overrated, and West went like totally left field with his list because he didn't understand the assignment. And that's not a dig, but that is what happened. And West talked about this game, End of the Line, which I have now ordered thanks to Seppi, and have coming to my house. And I started to think like Seppi and I have a lot in common. Like our sense of humors line up. So I just asked Seppi to come over and do an interview with us. I was like, hey, I know you don't know me. We have a mutual friend. I would love to talk to you. And Seppi being Seppi, and just so open and generous, came over, and that dude had me freaking like falling out of my chair. He was so funny. And the man is a professional at demoing games. But if you ever have the opportunity to even see a Fight in the Box game, check that shit out. It is fun. It is dark. And the crazy thing, Mike, about Seppi and I's conversation is we're talking about his games, and then he's talking about we talk about some real stuff, about how he really felt threatened because of Galactic Conquest, Princess, Fashionist Power, because of just that he's gay, and he comes out and he's got this game, with that is very much him and very much his personality. And he is so open with his story and the way that he talks about his experiences. And I just really appreciated how genuine he was and open he was. Cause that's not always an easy thing to talk about, like when you're being vulnerable. And he was amazing. I'm full disclosure, today is my mom's birthday. My mom died last year in April. And today's a day that will probably always be a little heavier than other days. And Seppi's messaging me, and I'm just cracking up. And, I just will forever love him for that and the time that he gave us. And, and just, I feel like I made a friend. Dude's hilarious, and he's awesome and kind. And so is Andrew. Because of Andrew's podcast, I got up this sort of gumption to ask Andrew. And then Andrew showed up and played games with us. And then we're kind of talking about the game, and we're kind of, and the fun thing about playing games with Andrew, because we played Growl and we played some other games. We played Processing, which is another Seppi Yoon game. And it was fun to get like Andrew's take on it, because it's like, oh, he's coming at it from a different side, right? Like we're all playing these games as gamers, like I don't even put the review hat on, right? When we're playing games, I just like to play games. And then I'll put the review hat on when we're like sitting down to do a review and we're going to be critical about it. But most of the time I'm just having a good time. But I kind of made a point with like Andrew being there to be like, so Andrew, what'd you think? Like, what's your opinion? And it was really cool because I'm just getting insight from the other side of the table on these things. And Andrew and I were texting when I was literally sitting down Sunday night after I got home to just start sending some messages that was like, hey, thank you for coming over and talking to us. Thank you. Andrew beat me to the punch. That's how freaking cool Andrew is. I'm not home for an hour, and Andrew has texted me and just saying, hey, thank you. And what they're doing over at Tabletop Submarine and is so cool because they're getting people's stories. They're getting their stories from playing games. Mike, you and I have so many stories, not even together, from playing games and the experiences that they provide, and how those stories like stay with you forever. So while we don't have pictures of me and Seppi or Andrew, I just really had to take a minute, and thank you for giving me that, to highlight what those gentlemen gave me in my con experience, because it blew me away. It blew me away. It's crazy. I can't believe we get to do this. I really can't.
Right? So I'll circle back because I think he's still here and it deserves mentioning. So again, one of my favorite experiences was this guy. I think he's still watching.
Hey.
Setting up his own prototype in our booth and playing it for the first time. And I'm just kind of watching him set it up. And this guy's just like grinning ear to ear because he's setting up his own game for the first time.
God.
And he's just like thrilled to be doing it. And it was still just, again, humbling that he gives us the chance to give this game coverage. And again, they're really onto something here. This game is very unique. It's very fun. It has some epic turns. You can definitely tell it's a Wes Todd game because it's also pretty mean. But again, he was the only person that came to our booth and started eyeing that wheel. And so you can see the wheels turning. I'm not talking about the wheel on the left. I'm talking about the wheel on the right on top of that flamingo shirt, the one spinning inside of Wes' head as he's thinking, dang, I kind of want to spin that wheel. And I just love how playful he is because sure enough, he spun that damn wheel. And all he got out of it was a mini pop, and he was really ecstatic to win that mini pop and spin that wheel. So I really appreciate his playful energy.
Well, and again, Mike, right? Like Wes has been a part of huge things in this hobby and in this industry. And the fact that he gives us the time that he does is so flattering and incredible and humbling, and I love him for it. I really do. And yeah, he spun the shit out of that wheel. He did a great job.
And they got a mini pop out of it. So he was the only one that did that. Like we said, we had 40 people in our booth that were there to show us their games and do interviews and talk to us. He was the only one that spun that wheel. So I just I appreciate his energy and his spirit.
No, Wes, you're the best, man. We hit Wes up all the time for advice, his input, his feedback. And yeah, Wes, you were the only one that spun the wheel out of our guests.
Out of our guests, yes, you were the only one. Evan said he wished he would have, but he did not put his wishes into action as you did, sir.
There literally was probably over 1,000 people that spun that wheel over the course of the convention.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes. True story.
Which, Mike, how fucking stupid is that we had so many people come through our booth and check back every day and
Oh my gosh, yeah. Some of the days that I was not running demos or doing interviews, and I was our Sunday night closer, and all the people that came back Sunday afternoon at like 2:30 just to check if they had the winning raffle ticket number, and all the people that came through just to spin that wheel, like, man, I'll tell you, we drove a lot of traffic to our booth with that silly little wheel, and it worked to perfection.
Yeah, it did.
All of them were lining up to look at their winning numbers and spin that wheel. But you know what? Secretly, they all got a chance to look at your games too. So it was a nice little two-way attack that we had there.
Your ticket was $24.68. Donnie had a ticket. Donnie entered the raffle.
I didn't catch that.
Donnie,
We
if
didn't
you
have a lot of
own
guests that entered the raffle. You guys were totally eligible to enter, but I
Donnie,
didn't
if
see a
you
lot of
own
you guys enter.
if you own Zombicide or Stuffed Fables, let me know because we accidentally had some expansions on
It's true.
that list, and we could definitely hook you up. Okay, so I don't know who from Parakeet, but we know who it isn't.
We've
But
talked
if that's
about you a
London or
bunch
Christina,
too.
oh yeah, hell yeah,
Let's go back to those if I can find them.
yeah, find them. Find that really hot pic of me laying on the floor at Gen Con, which 70,000 people walked over. Oh, it's London. What up, London? Yeah, we definitely talked about you.
That's not you, but I have a picture with you. It's in here. I'll find it. Give me a second.
You'll find it.
I'll find it.
Oh, yeah, that's probably not Arun. It's Hikmat.
Oh,
is who that is.
And Brett, I know you missed him, but I did make sure I told him that you were there.
No, I found
he
Brett.
Catch you? Good.
He did catch me. He did catch me. Let me just shout out Brett real quick because Brett, you don't know this really, but like the open game night where I met Brett when we used to do open game nights at that game store, that is what probably one of the reasons why Mark picked me and asked me to start the show, was because of that open game night. It was because of all of you people. So, showing up all the time. So it was super cool to see Brett. I only see him at conventions. Yeah, we figured you out there, Hikmat. We know who the real one is. Yeah, London, that's our devious plan is to make you go back and watch the stream.
There's more.
Yeah. Oh, and London even won a game at the booth. She won the one of the X-Men games we were giving away, which I really wanted to play.
Yeah, me too. Where is that one? I think it's in Bob's photos. I'll have to find it.
It's in Bob's photos or mine. It showed up twice.
I think it's in Bob's photos. Yeah, it's in there. I'll pull it up here while you're on, since you joined us late. It's okay. Oh, here we go.
But I am totally going to have the Parakeet Griffin crew back on, because their game freaking rocks. I want to hang out with them.
It's so fun.
More.
Yes.
And yeah, if I can get you guys an invite to a convention, or not a convention, but a big multi-day board game meetup on the south side of Indy, would y'all travel for that? I'm just asking for a friend. Me being the friend.
Snap.
There it is.
There it is. There's the epic photo. And I already admitted that I just needed my rest. And Andrew claimed a Telestrations board, even though he said he wasn't going to play. I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I'll get my sleep. Saturday is going to be busy, and it was, and I felt good.
So, and yeah. Brett is Papa Soup in the Discord if you're there. You know what?
Though? You are not. He's on the west side of Chicago. He's not that far away.
Yeah. So what we need to do, Mike, is next time we have RiceCon, we need to invite him over there.
Yes, RiceCon right here. In this basement, I can support about 20 gamers down here, and 5 more upstairs. So it can happen right here, here.
Mike was kind enough to let me pack his house for my birthday party around Memorial Day, and we had a pretty freaking epic little game day there, didn't we, Mike?
We did have an epic game day. Rice-A-Palooza. I need to start working on the name. It's a thing. There's been 2 of them here, and we've had like close to 20 people here twice now. Oh, yes. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. And the last time we did it, Bob, that crap's still up there. I still have it set up because, as some of you know, I don't have a whole lot upstairs. That's a different story. But I still have... we gamed from noon till we had people here till 3 a.m. Mostly just me, Dan, and Bob till 3 a.m. But most people left at like about 10 o'clock. Right at 10 o'clock, me, Dan, Bob, and Spencer had a 2-hour rock band session. No joke. It was epic. I was reliving my late 20s. We jammed out to Rock Band for like 2 hours straight. And it was great because we were just rotating spots. I was on vocals. Then I do drums. Then bass. Then drums. Oh, man. RiceCon, Riceapalooza. I got to think of a name. But yeah, we got a lot more people to invite next time. That's for sure. But we packed this place right here. I'm on one of the tables we game on as we speak. I may have another poker table before next time. Stay tuned. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. We have a great group, and I'll be honest. It was something when I bought this house. It was something I dreamed of doing. Is having like a huge group of gamers down here, and I wasn't sure how long it would take to do. I wasn't even sure I had enough gamer friends to make it happen. And then again, as I said earlier, I met these guys 2 years ago, and just me becoming a hardcore gamer, it solidified what I love and what I'm about, and that's playing games and meeting people that make them and also love them. So,
Mike, it just required two things from you. One,
what's that?
You reaching out, and two, you allowing yourself to be the badass board game host you are. That's it.
I try.
That's it.
And you know what? I try to take pages out of Patrick and Julia's book. I've seen
100%.
what an awesome home hosted convention can look like, and I've tried to honestly just mimic what they do. And that is just make sure everyone's welcomed, everyone gets to play a game, everyone can drink, everyone can eat. If you're coming over to my house, you are playing games, you are eating well, we take care of you. That's how we roll. Simple as that.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
It's great. I love doing it. It's been too long. I haven't done it since your birthday, which was around Memorial Day. That was May, Tim. That was May.
It was.
And so, yeah, I have a big trip coming up, but when I get back before that Tabletop Adventure Fest in Warsaw, middle of September, we're gonna do it, guys. We're having RiceCon right here.
And then there are some people that I will be reaching out to. Don't take offense if you don't hear from me, but there's definitely some people. There's definitely some people I'm going to be reaching out to about. I'm trying to meet up with us in Indy when we're there next in October. Yeah, you need a Mike. You know you're pretty close, but you could do a little better. All right, Mike. Talk shit to TJ. I'm going to be right back.
Okay. I just realized it's my turn in that Lost Ruins of Arnak game I was talking about earlier. So. No, you guys are all awesome. It's crazy. It's basically become, you guys are all friends, and you're all welcome here. You're welcome at our tables. You're welcome in our homes. Some of the people we've talked about have already crashed here. But how many drinks am I in? Wait a minute, is it that obvious? Son of a bitch. Not as many as TJ had the last time he was there. That's the singe off of that burn. Oh yeah, it's my turn. That's right. Oh, we gotta get Evan in there. Evan, I think I sent you a BGA friend request, I think. I was just looking at mutual friends. And yeah, I think I sent you a request. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, we enjoy gaming. It's so fun to just meet you guys, game with you guys, and seriously, you guys are friends now. Like that's all it takes. You come see us at a booth, you come game with us, and that's it. You're stuck. That's what happened to me one day about 2 years ago. I showed up and I gamed with the guys, and now they're like my best friends. It didn't take long. That's how we roll. Nobody's a stranger. It's just all about making sure everybody gets to enjoy this hobby and just enjoy hanging out. So yeah, Evan, I think I sent you a request. And hey, don't feel bad. I'm terrible about like I've got this thing. I used to play Clash of Clans a long time ago on my phone. I played like every day for like 2 years. And I just got in this rut, even with Marvel Snap. I would play it every day, and then like after a month, I was like, I just lost interest. I just stopped playing it. So I'm trying to maintain my interest in getting back into digital board games, especially when I know other people are playing. If I know I can play with Evan or Donnie or any of you guys, I got a game going with Rob too, who's one of our regular viewers. Knowing that I can play BGA games with you guys will get me back into it. For the longest time, I used to play games on a French website called Boitejeu, or however it's pronounced, Boitejeu. And that is a French website that also has games similar to BGA or Yucata. I used to play Castles of Burgundy every single day. I have like 200 games logged on that in that website. But BGA makes all of that so much easier. And if I can play with you guys, I'll stick to it. I'll keep playing, and I'll get back into BGA. So I started up a game today, and it is my turn. So I'll add more of you guys, and it'll get me back into Board Game Arena. So it'll be fun to play with you guys for sure.
Let me know if anybody plays Star Realms because I'm totally jelly. But I got like ongoing games of Star Realms that I've had for literal years. Oh, okay. So West wants to know what game did we see in the Gen Con hall that was exciting?
I'll start, Tim.
Go for it.
Nice. Wes plays the app. There you go. Boom. So I had a very small Gen Con hall. I actually thought I had that picture in here somewhere. But yeah, we made it very abundantly clear that we were going to Gen Con this year. We were treating it as a business trip. Our goal was to get as many people in that booth as we could, to make as many connections as we could, and to do everything we possibly could to grow the channel. And so, even though we made a Gen Con preview video and I did the research on the games that were coming out, I didn't go into Gen Con with a whole list of games I wanted to buy. I had a few, but I wasn't like, oh, I got to get this and then this and this. I bought 3 games, guys. 3. I mean, I bought 3 times that many at Origins, but I bought 3 games at Gen Con. I was really focused on making sure that booth was banging and we had awesome people in and out of it the whole 4 days we were there. So I bought 3 games. The one I bought, like first thing, was Sky Team from Hachette. Last year at Gen Con, Hachette sold out of Turing Machine and they sold out of Acropolis. They had 2 hits at Gen Con. So going into Gen Con this year, I was like, what's Hachette coming out with? That was like one of the first things I looked at. Yeah, 3 out of 309 games, West. Yeah, I had a purpose at Gen Con and I executed it. So I didn't buy a whole lot of games. I bought Diamond Dig, which is a push your luck game from Mr. B Games, designed by Alan Moon. I bought Thunder Road or Thunder Rolls, which is a racing game, also published by Mr. B Games, designed by Richard Lanius, who I found out is a huge NASCAR fan. And Sky Team. That was the first game I bought. I did not have to open that first day, so I bought Sky Team. And I every time I say the name of that game, I fight the urge to say that, Evan. So you've ruined me. Bob and I played Sky Team once in the hotel, and I thought it was fantastic. It is a really interesting dice placement co-op 2-player experience where you're trying to land a plane, and the way the dice work off of each other between the pilot and the co-pilot is really interesting. You got to get your landing gear out. You got to get your drag strips out. and you got to maintain your speed. You can't go too fast, but you also have to hit the brake so that you're ready for the land. And you also have to keep that plane flat. And what's interesting is that if there's one spot where both people have to place a die and you compare the totals. If I put a 4 down and Bob put a 3 down, the plane is going to tilt towards that 4. And it's just instantly the pressure's on. You're like, oh, crap. We're going to flatten out the plane. We're going to tilt it the other way. You have to get it flat for it to land because duh. So even though it's a really simple dice placement game, it has a great job of adding tension to the game. And there's a ton of modules. There's a lot of extra content to try out. And I just want to say, yeah, we're going to review it on Friday. One of the main reasons I bought it was because I've got this huge trip coming up. And I wanted a 2-player game that would fit on a small table. And man, I hit a home run with this one. Bob and I are going to try some of the other modules. We're going to review it Friday. That was the one I was most excited to buy. So there you go. That's it. It wasn't a lot. But again, my priorities were very different going into this Gen Con. So I bought 3 games, and Sky Team was number 1.
Yeah, so I bought a couple games. I bought Mutton Bustin'. I ran over to 25th Century Games and really wanted their fun, goofy family weight game called Mutton Bustin'. I did get a copy of Sushi Boat. I didn't have to buy it. Japanime Games gave us this for review. But I'm very, very excited about Sushi Boat.
Box is huge.
Oh, it's
that
massive.
Box is big. Okay.
Yeah, it's massive.
That's the biggest sushi game I've ever seen.
I did buy Resurgence. Really excited about that.
He got it signed by Stan.
I did. But here's my Mutton Bustin' Indiana State Champs 2023.
Yes.
Belt buckle. Thank you, Donnie.
Tim, do you know this answer? I know it's 25th Century Games. After that, I don't know a whole lot.
If the boards wouldn't, I haven't even popped the shrink off this bad boy yet.
No. I mean, it's Mutton Bustin' made by the ones who made Gruff. I don't know.
Mutton Bustin' is made by Matt Wolf, so I don't know if he made Gruff or not. I tried to buy this game, but they gave me a copy for review. So I'm very excited about this because I was going to buy I had money budgeted to purchase this game. I cannot wait because I am a horror movie fanatic. So I am here for it. I'm down.
That's going to be
amazing.
Ready to clown. That and their Halloween game. Oh my gosh.
I left the minis with Cody, who is from the Miniatures Rundown, but Japanime Games also gave me Epic 7 Arise. I cannot wait to play this freaking game. I almost bought it at Origins. Academy Games, I have told myself that I was going to buy this game for like the last 4 years. And every time I'm like, I'll wait. I usually wait till Sunday to buy games because I want to kind of see stuff and then not spend my money till the end. And so one of 2 things happens. They sell out or I change my mind. But a game that I've always tried to buy and it's always sold out by Sunday, and I got the second to last copy, is Freedom, the Underground Railroad. Cannot wait to play this game. I've only heard great things. I love difficult co-ops. I love challenging themes because to me, like things like that in history, if you can find an interesting and unique way to teach people these kind of like history through these games, like even better. Andrew, Real Andrews Wear Sleeves. Thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate you hanging out with us for as long as you did.
And you're one of those dudes that's going to get an invite when RiceCon happens. Just bank on
it. Yeah. For sure. But anyways, I also bought Resurgence. but I'm very excited about those games. I'll tell you a game I had no idea about, and when I played it with the designer while I was interviewing him, is Pocket Paragons from Solus. This is a game that I absolutely loved because, like if Mike and I were to sit down and play it, he's got a deck, I've got a deck. They're unique, but they've got some similarities, and it's almost like a rock paper scissors kind of thing when we play it. Like you can play a defense card or you can play an attack card, and both players start with 10 health, and you're trying to get the other player down, and it's just really cool, really unique way that they do it, and I had a really good time with it. And the game can take 10 minutes, it can take 5 minutes, and it's just a really fun, like, sort of back and forth. So there we go. Thanks, Evan. Good to know, man. Good to know.
Nice.
I might have to switch over to my iPad just in case, because my phone's getting close to dying. But yeah, those were some of the games that I was very excited about. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get to play Claw, but I was really excited about Claw. Pigskin, TJ's game. I was excited about the games we got to bring into the booth. I had played for Horsemen, but wasn't 100% sure I was doing it right. So that when Jeremy Rowley came over and played it with me, then I was like, oh, okay, yep, I understood this game. It is what I thought it was. Yeah, Brian, thanks for being here, man. Always a pleasure. Love you, buddy. So a lot of the games that I saw and got excited about were ones that I had rolling through the booth. So it's my own bias, but also it's my show. I'm bringing in people that I'm excited to talk to and that I want to hear about their stuff.
You know,
I am. Oh, go on.
No, I was just going to say, I wasn't sure how much we were going to talk about, like how many review games we got, but
oh, sure.
We made so many new big connections that our review pile is ridiculous right now. We have so many games to review that were just given to us. And I just want to say that because we've gotten games to review before, but the sheer amount of games that we got just for the purpose of review directly from the publishers right now is pretty ridiculous. And it's still, again, is just getting used to, hey, this